Glad
Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Tonight, we are going to be continuing our 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, playing, in part, the Scales of War adventure path. That was published several years ago by... James is ducking out. One of our players is ducking out for just a moment, and he just told me just as we were going live. So we will save James's introductions for when he gets back. But we are continuing on with our, this is the second session for our 4th edition D&D campaign, playing, again, Scales of War. We are going to have a bit of a progressive collection of people coming on throughout the evening, just because it's been one of those weeks for a lot of folks. But with me so far tonight are the J's, the double J's. We've got, first off, Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody.
Jeff, why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing?
Well, I'm the usual Jeffrey, and today I'm playing Oberon Bloodhoof. He is the brother of... What's his name?
Do you have your handout with you, too? If not,
please try. I do have it. I don't have it with me. I should grab it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's got the your combat cheat sheet on it, too. Just that.
Yeah, it's got all that good cheat stuff. I'll grab it straight here in the library.
Okay. So I guess you're stuck with me for the moment, folks. Again, this is a campaign playing the 4th edition of Dungeons and Dragons. If you have not played 4th edition before, 4th edition differs from the other, basically all the other editions of Dungeons and Dragons, in the sense that it is a more more regimented in its division of the different pillars, I guess, that make up the Dungeons and Dragons game. The combat is extremely tactical, and the characters have a series of powers and whatnot that is closer to what you would get in a massive multiplayer online role-playing game than in traditional D&D games. That's not to say that the game doesn't have some really great role-playing depth to it as well. The other two pillars, exploration and role-playing, are still very much featured in it. It's just that the rule structure around those things is a little looser. What you'll see tonight is that we have... I've actually beefed up the rules around the exploration component to, or the exploration tier, thanks to some very cool rules found in the Adventures in Middle-earth role-playing. This is a role-playing game published by Cubicle 7 that is basically an adaptation of their other game, One Ring, which is the most recent effort at a Lord of the Rings role-playing game, into 5th edition D&D rules. And I've adapted them so that they're usable with 4th edition D&D as well. The other... Oh, let's see here. I hear some noise from James's side, so I wonder if he's getting settled back in again. Jeff, do you have your cheat sheet?
Yes, I do now have my cheat sheet.
Awesome, awesome. James, can you hear us again, or are you still getting settled in? James cannot hear us. I was just giving a quick background, Jeff, as to what how 4th edition differs from other editions of D&D as well, just so that the casual viewer at home may not be confused by what to expect. James, why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing?
I am playing Ember, a female tiefling mage, pyromancer from the Essential line.
Yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to turn my camera off and then switch to sharing screens. Actually, I guess I can switch to sharing screens first here into Roll20. James, what I'm going to ask you to do is turn your camera off on Roll20 and then reload your... turn off your camera on the Google Plus call and then reload the Roll20 screen. It should activate your camera there. So let's see here. Okay. Let's see if this works. Boom. There's that.
So Roll20 is so stupid.
How so?
Camera's gotten misaligned on my screen only. Like on your screen, I'm right in the middle of my camera.
Yeah.
And on my screen, there's a black bar on the left side, and then like my face is split right in half on the edge of the camera.
You're showing up perfectly fine on mine.
I know, but on my own computer, it is screwed up, and I don't know how to ever fix it.
That's weird. James,
tell what I
yours is, James, when you go to the little cog on the right side of Roll20, does it show you sharing video? It says, I want to broadcast to others. Or do you have that click to video?
In the settings?
Yeah, in the little
On the little
cog.
cog at my settings, near the bottom, it's video and voice.
Okay.
Use video only.
I want to broadcast to others, video and voice. I want to receive from others, video and voice.
Okay, click on reconnect. Let's see if that helps you.
I hit it, nothing happens.
Okay. So you're, well, what browser are you using? Is it Chrome or is it Internet Explorer?
Chrome.
Or Firefox? Chrome?
Chrome.
Okay, so that's weird. I don't know why it's not working. Jeff, your camera just went off.
Well, I just clicked reload to see if it would fix my camera.
Oh, okay. Okay, so where we pick up, guys, is the last session. We've had a lot of things actually happen. I'm just going to move these goblins out of the way because we don't need them right now. So last session, you guys set out. Maybe I'll swap screens here so I can go to the map here. Boom. So last session, we picked up in the city of Overlook, which I'm pinging right now. In Overlook, you guys, for a variety of reasons, found yourselves there, and you guys had formed an adventuring or mercenary group under the sort of leadership or bullyingship of Ember, the tiefling wizard. You guys, unfortunately, had run afoul of basically the most powerful merchant group in the Elseer Vale called the Elseer Consortium. And you managed to, through no fault of your own, get two of their merchants killed while you were escorting their mission. As a result, you guys were blacklisted with the Elseer Consortium, and really you were left in a position where the only jobs that were available were ones that you absolutely did not want to take. Would you stop crying? My goodness. The plan, however, what you found out about later, though, was that there was fairly far away, there was a place called the Restwell Keep. And Restwell Keep was apparently looking for mercenaries. It sits on this really massive, uncontrolled region called the Chaos Scar. That has been, centuries ago was walled off by the dwarves who once occupied this land. It's said that in the Chaos Scar, this giant star fell from heaven and crashed down in there, unleashing all sorts of weird and twisted creatures. The most recent leader, or I guess leader of Restwell Keep, is apparently a paladin of Arathis. Arathis being the goddess of civilization. And as such, either in devotion to his goddess or just because this is what paladins do, he's trying to bring order to the region. So there's lots of opportunities there. So the dream or the scheme that you guys cooked up was that you would make your way to Restwell Keep, you'd make a name for yourselves, and then be able to come back to your home in Overlook, your heads held high, and with a second chance at glory with the Elseer Consortium. So last session saw you guys say goodbye to some of your friends and family, read NPCs, in Overlook, and then set out on the road. Along the road, you encountered a group of fellow mercenaries or adventurers, a group called the Free Riders. You may remember you met Megan Swiftblade, who was a human fighter, Ragnum Dowerstone, a dwarven priest of Moradin, Sylvan Leafrunner, an elf ranger, Genna Tenson, a wizard, and Madrick, who was a little gnome rogue. You also found that they were quite happy to run into you guys because they had most recently lost one of their companions. I believe his name was Benji Frankfoot.
Flatfoot.
No, it would have been Frankfoot. You may have misheard. I know because Benji Frankfoot is an old character of mine. It's not just for your campaigns that I pull out the weirdo characters there, James. I played Benji in one of Chad's campaigns. Somewhat prophetically, he was a halfling lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, really. This is why I can't play ever, is because no one wants to run my characters. Anyway, Benji Frankfoot was a bard who unfortunately was killed when a bunch of goblins ambushed the free riders along the path. You guys were encouraged to sort of turn back, but you were, of course, your heart was set on continuing on. So you forged on into the forbidding Wyrmsmoke Mountains. And let me just give you a quick refresher here, guys, as to what that sort of looked like. So this was what the Wyrmsmoke Mountains looked like near the peaks. Right. From the, there's that one. No, not that one. This was the foothills you saw when you, oops, let me show you players. Boom, there we go. This is what the foothills of the Wyrmsmoke Mountains look like. That's around the region where you met the free riders. And then you rode up into the peaks themselves. And Dave's character, Jeff, your character's brother, Rackus Bloodhoof, he unfortunately did not handle the elevation terribly well. And he is currently rocking 1 level of exhaustion. And mechanically speaking, what that means is he's got -2 to all his skill checks right now. Not attacks or saves or anything, just his skill checks. But that's going to be prove problematic for him going forward. And then when you guys finally made your way down the other side, again, this map isn't quite to scale, but you made your way down the far side of the Wyrmsmoke Mountains. You began making your way down towards Drellin's Ferry when you were set upon by goblins. And this was, we can switch over to this map here. This is where you guys were ambushed. You traveled on the road, and there was a big pack of goblins that came running out of the woods. Fortunately, you proved yourselves much more capable than what the Free Striders did, and you were able to drive off most of the, well, you were able to kill most of the goblins and drive off one. There was an acolyte of some kind, or some kind of spellcasting goblin, who fled further into the hills. And you can remember that up here, the top of the map here, that is like foothills that lead up and then down into a path that seems to lead further deep into the into either the foothills or the lower parts of the mountains. Now, unfortunately, as a result of a magical mishap that happened before the campaign started, all of our heroes suffer from a persisting magical curse that they have not been able to rid themselves of. And what happens is every now and then, because of the unstable nature of the Elsyr Vale region, it is so ridden through like, you know, good cheese with holes leading to other planar locales. Hey, speaking of Rackus Bloodhoof, look at who showed up.
Hey guys.
Dave, your camera's actually working in Roll20 tonight. That's awesome.
That's because it's Laura's.
Oh.
Oh, okay, for your Roll20, okay.
AFK.
Yeah. So, and then there's Brent. Okay, so Brent, you're hopping in. Okay, so what happens, guys, is you had just the acolyte had just gone scampering over the hill and was had gone screaming off into the woods, and then you feel that familiar sort of butterfly feeling in your stomach that you know presages either the appearance or disappearance of one of your allies. And sure enough, when you guys look around, you find that your ally Halen, the elf who has been missing since Overlook, he has reappeared. But unfortunately, Xavier, the small child over whom Ember has assumed responsibility, he is gone and nowhere to be seen. So let's wait for Brent to hop on to Roll20. and then we'll pick up where you guys left off. So, just as a reminder to Dave, we mentioned when we were just starting out, where I was giving the recap. You are currently, or Rakis is suffering from 1 level of exhaustion right now, which means that he's taking -2 to all his skill checks. Now, there won't be any other, like, not a penalty to his attacks or anything like that, just his skill checks right now. Oh, I actually can't hear you, Dave. Brent, why don't you try talking? Let's see if I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you a bit, Dave. You sound really muffled. Do you guys have something in front of the way of the mic or something like that?
No, where it's actually just. I think. How about now, Kev?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Sorry, we're using Laura's computer.
No problem. Okay. So,
Quick question, Kev. With the deficit on the rolls, is that going to be pre-programmed into?
Sorry,
20,
Dave, you're sort of fading out there. I'm catching half of what you're saying.
Okay. Literally, I'm going to yell into Laura's computer, which is really odd. How's this, Kev?
That's perfect. Yeah, you can. I think now that you've turned it, if you sit down, I think I can hear you still. Let's see. Go ahead and try talking.
Sibilance.
Oh, mommy. Yep. No problem.
Okay, we're good.
You're good. Yeah. Oh, now I can't hear you again.
Son of a.
So, okay, when you turn your head to the side, it seems to work okay. Incidentally, I've already picked out what everyone's getting for Christmas, by the way, guys. So,
What's that?
new fucking mics.
How about now?
Yeah, that's
tech
perfect.
support.
So literally, I have to look at the computer.
I think the tech support answer is usually going to be problem between chair and keyboard.
Nuh-uh. I can't get this whole video thing to work.
No, and I'm not seeing Brent, and I'm not seeing you either. I don't know why that is.
Because I've had my Roll20 camera probably turned off from previous sessions.
Okay, so
No, on my just my Roll20 settings from previous Star Wars or whatever we played.
See, I always thought that was Brent, Kev, the astronaut there.
astronaut.
Yeah, the
unicorn.
astronaut is me.
He's the unicorn, right?
Yeah.
So, Kev, basically what I was asking was, are those penalties going to be automatically captured in Roll20, or do I have to factor those in on my rolls?
No, you'll have to factor them in because it's a custom rule, or what do you call it? It's a house rule. That's what I'm struggling for.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, just 1 sec here. Okay, now if you want to understand how passive aggressive Emmy can be, this is what she's choosing to do. She's intentionally sat so she's facing away from me. We before Dave and Brent logged on, I had to get all fucking bundled up again and take her outside because she was crying and crying and crying. And it turns out she was just being an asshole. There was nothing that was urgent. Went outside and was like, hey, it's snow again. So anyway, okay, so guys, that's where we pick ourselves up now. Halen, the last thing you recall, you were in Overlook. You and your colleagues had been planning to set forth on the road to travel to travel to Restwell Keep eventually, travel over the Wyrmsmoke Mountains and make your way along. But you felt that familiar sort of butterflies feeling in your stomach. You lost sensation. And then when you suddenly gain sensation again, you find yourself standing on the, to your left are these massive sweeping mountains. The air is thin. It feels very much like home. And you look around and you can, doing a quick head count, you notice that Xavier is missing. but everyone else is here, and their weapons seem bloodied. What do you say, Alan?
Do I have any sense of the past? Time has passed, or is it just?
Nope. When you guys fade out, this is it's partly because I think it's thematically appropriate, but also to avoid having to do fucking recaps. You just don't know what's happened.
Okay. I guess I'm sort of shocked. I step back and sort of try and take everything in before saying anything.
Okay.
And then once I sort of like realize I'm not in town or with and there's no immediate threat, I'll just sort of in general say to everyone, what happened? Where are we?
Well, we've left town, and
Hold on, you know what's so weird? I can see Dave talking, but I can't hear a thing he's saying.
Mother, can you read my lips?
I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you, which is so weird because I can hear Brent just fine.
And we're both sitting right in front of the computer.
Like, can you guys hear Dave and I'm just going crazy or what?
No.
nope.
Brent?
I can hear you fine.
Computer?
I switched computers. This is the first time we're using Laura's computer. It just doesn't like Dave, apparently. Because we're like
Is it
both
because-
sitting in front of it.
Brent, was this computer manufactured in the southern United States?
I'm just saying to Dave, it's treating him like the same way airport authorities do.
Yeah. No, because then he'd be getting extra special attention.
Yeah, I guess this is just ignoring him. I have no idea what's
But
going
not
on.
the good kind.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So I
we
heard
could
the
just
first part of that.
No.
Maybe what you can do, Brent, can
Hang
you
on, let
angle
me try
your-
and move my computer. I'm going to move the computer more to the center of us. Maybe that'll make a...
Yeah, just because I for whatever reason, it's the setting on the mic must just be so it's picking up whatever's directly in front of it.
Okay, how about this? It should be directly in front of both of us now.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So maybe what you might just need to do, Dave, is just lean in towards Brent when you when you want to talk. Yeah, definitely. Please try and do it like that.
I've got a coworker who also plays D&D over the net, and he's got a big ass mic that's like, it looks like a professional radio station mic, like the big thing that you plant on the table. He brought it in once for a remote meeting at work.
Is it something
like
this,
kind of like that, but his is all
Yeah.
like silver. But yeah. So I'm like, I wonder if that there's a reason to invest in a non,
Guys, I'm not kidding at all. There's like I know what you guys are getting for Christmas. We had to get Steve to start using headphones because he's got a new computer and it does what Nick's computer used to do, where like the levels would be all over the fucking place. So it'd pick up, him chewing a Dorito and make it sound as if it was a Concorde landing.
I think the most awkward was that when it picked up Jordan and his girlfriend arguing in the background.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway, so so what had happened last, guys, is just as a reminder to the players, because it's been more than a month since we played. Rakkus, Ember, Oberon, and Xavier were ambushed by a pack of goblins. You managed to kill almost all of them, and then one of them, an acolyte, went scampering over the hill at the top of the map, because the map goes up towards the top. It went scampering over there, and you found that there was a little path that seemed to lead its way down away. And it one of the goblins did drop something as well too. One appeared to be, unfortunately, I think Xavier may have had it in his hand. James, do you remember whether it was Ember or Xavier who had that ritual page in his hand? I don't remember which of you guys made the best roll on that. Actually, you know what? I've still got the Ember rolled a 30. Xavier rolled a 27 on his Arcana. So actually, it would be you, Ember. So even though Xavier has disappeared, you recall that there was a page left over from. Sorry, Dave, we can't hear you again.
You faded out for a second. You sounded far away, but you're back. Can we hear you? Can you hear us?
Are you guys on wireless or are you plugged in?
Plugged in.
Oh, great. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
what do you call it? So then, Ember, you know that there was a page from a ritual that was left over, and you also have a what do you call it? There was a vial of some kind of inky black substance that was found on one of the fallen goblins.
A vial of darkness.
It was a vial of darkness, correct? Well, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Rich, we don't know what that is.
what do you guys want to do? I think the last thing you were doing was you were getting ready to set off in pursuit of this acolyte.
Right. Oberon catches Halen up to about the battle of the goblins, and he lets him know that he did bid farewell to Kiro for him.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to move Kitty back up next to Rakus. Okay, so what, or not to Rakus, to Oberon. What do you guys want to do then? What are you doing?
Yeah, like, do we care to pursue these goblins or just continue on our journey?
I say we go after them.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with the arcane ritual. I'd like to find out if we can gather the rest of it. I got a bit of it. Torn. It was torn from something.
Yes. I'm just going to adjust this here. So there we go. Okay.
So you think there's value in gathering these pages, Ember?
Possibly. What do the pages look like?
They are. I mean, they're pages. You know, from they're pieces of parchment that are clearly from the rip on the one side. It's been torn, likely from a ritual book. And your roll was like 30, right? So, I believe that you thought it was a. Yeah, 30 is good enough that I think it's, you know, that it's part of a ritual for dancing lights. So,
and this ritual came from the goblins?
It was a page that, a torn out page that was on one of the goblin corpses.
Okay.
Can you just keep talking for a second?
Sure. Mimo mame. Here's me talking.
Our volume won't stay stable. You either get really loud or really quiet.
That again is a problem between you and keyboard. Guys, are James and Jeff, are you guys having that problem as well?
I do. I just keep adjusting mine.
I'm not having any.
I had that problem last time.
Yeah.
We got it figured out, Kev.
Do you? Okay.
That's okay, right?
Oh, yeah, the volume's fine now. It stays constant.
Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah. So that's what you find on them, and you guys have heard that. Remember, Dave, you may actually have missed this before when we were doing the recap, but you ran into that other group of adventurers who had lost a member when they were ambushed by a goblin tribe.
Yeah, no, Rakus was there for that. He was part of the ambush, actually.
He was part of the ambush. Nice.
I believe Rakus was making some kind of animal calls in the woods while we were talking to them.
Yeah, it's not very good.
That was fun.
You guys had learned that there was a halfling bard named Benji Frankfoot who was with who was a member of their group, but he unfortunately was killed and dragged off by the goblins, and there were just too many goblins for the other group, the free riders, to take on. So, what's that, Dave?
Well, let's just head off after the goblin, I guess. If that's what you guys want to do, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oberon's like, I enjoy smashing goblins.
Okay, let me just so Dave, your aura is going to be inactive now. Let's see here.
If that's what you guys want to do, Halen sits down to meditate for a few minutes first.
Okay, what is he trying to do, Brent, mechanically?
Traveler's camouflage.
No, because I'm assuming that he has had he has tried to use that during the day. So we're just gonna we'll deal with the rituals later,
Okay.
because the way that you've described it, that he's doing that at the start of each day, right?
Yeah, but he just popped into existence right now.
Oh, that's true. Well, I guess here's the thing is that there is a fresh path, and it takes you 10 minutes to cast Traveler's Camouflage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, do you want to give this goblin a 10-minute head start, or you want to take off right away?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, Rakus is having none of that.
Okay.
Yep.
Halen, we have no time for your meditations. Let's go.
It's important we center ourselves before a hunt. That's how it's done properly.
You're far too clean, my friend. Let's get some pot on you.
Okay.
Well, can you center yourself while you ride on my back?
Okay, so let's switch.
And you're
to...
slow.
All right, guys, if you go to the bottom of that page, you will find yourselves. Why don't you put yourselves in your marching order? And, position yourself around, let me just mark it here. But around this area here, guys. Where I'm pinging. So go ahead and position yourselves in your marching orders.
Yeah, we're probably at the front.
Yep. Good. I wanted to be there.
Kitty's like out here by the woods.
Kitty's
Who's the kitty?
No, square.
Ember Helen. Oh, come on, you piece of shit.
Kitty has a permanent aura.
Okay, guys, actually, you know what? And because just in anticipation of getting, shit real here, why don't you click on your token and then click on roll initiative, and we'll...
Can you give me,
Why don't you just roll initiative?
can you
No
give me
reason.
access to Halen?
You should have access to Halen, Brent. Oh, hold up. Let's see here. Halen win speaker. There we go. Try now.
Yay.
Okay. So again, just note, Brent, where I pinged, don't get any further than one right around there.
Okay.
If you want to move everyone else back a little bit, then please go ahead and do that. Oh,
Well, like if he wants to be
if
right
he
in
wants
the
to try and
front.
take point. You know what? Hold on, Brent. No. I'll put you. There you go. That's fine.
Yeah, if you want to, you can put me back a square too, and then they can use my perception bonus. I forgot I had that thing.
Okay. Brent, go ahead and make a stealth check for me, please. And then and everyone click on your token. So you've got to highlight it and then click on initiative, please.
Okay, give me a second.
Where's
I'm new
initiative?
to the roll 20 for 4E. I'm just looking for initiative. There it is. I see it.
Where is it? Where is it?
Should be under the. I think it's under the stats tab.
Oh, that's not a waste of a 20 on the first roll of the game.
Oh, beats my freaking 8.
Oberon
supposed to be
is
the
super
quick
ready to kill goblins.
Oh, there we go. Booyah.
Brent, did something? Before I forget, did something show up in the mail for you this week?
Yes, I didn't get it. It came last night, and I didn't get a chance. I unfortunately passed out after picking it up from the mailbox. I just wanted to say thanks super much, and I will. If you have some free time this weekend, I'll give you a ring.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, okay, great. I just wanted to make sure it did show up.
No, yeah, that's super cool.
Well, I thought it's
Thanks
I
so
don't. It's
much.
not something I'm intending on running for us in this thing. I really am not stuck with, but converted to 4E. But it's my favorite game that's come out in the last like 10 years. Jeff and Shadow the Demon Lord. Jeff and Steve and I have been playing it every week since like August of last year, and it's just a terrific game. Let's see here. Boom. Here we go. Okay. All right. So your stealth. Oh, good stealth roll, Brent.
Thank you.
Okay, let me roll some stuff here. Okay. Now, would you guys... Oh, hold on. Actually, I've got your passive perceptions here. Here's the way I'm going to work passive insight and passive perception, guys. Unless you tell me specifically you're using an action to look at something, I'm going to assume it's passive perception. I will never make you guys roll for You're I'm not going to say make a perception check and then kind of snicker and see if you notice anything. So just as an FYI. Speaking of snickering, however, Halen, you get about there and you can hear snickering from the bushes over here, the bushes over here, the bushes over here, and you think you can hear something coming from further down the path as well.
Okay, I'll sort of motion everyone to be a bit quiet or quieter.
Okay.
And then
so on this path, guys, it looks very much like what you've got here. It's very overgrown. Like this is a very rough trodden path. It looks like it may have been heavily used like 20 years ago, but it's very overgrown. There's been washouts at certain points in it. The mountains loom over you, kind of to the sort of like right, straight forward and then slightly to the left. And the trees themselves all tower over you. And the wind. Rackus, you're just fucking fed up with this environment, incidentally, as well. Sorry, Brandon, I interrupted. What were you going to say?
I sort of motion everyone to be quiet, and I'm going to try and see if I can pinpoint where the sound's coming from.
Sure. I think, you know what? Give me a perception check for me, Brandon. Let's see how you do. Oh, Jeff, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, whoops, I muted my mic. When Halen tells us to be quiet, I look over at Rackus and I whisper, "He knows we're Minotaurs, right?"
All right, so Brent, you're listening. I don't think you can hear anything until it's a little too late. What you hear is sort of a weird, like, it's a sound of like a wooden, like a limb of a tree maybe stretching back farther and farther.
Okay, maybe when I hear that, I could move off the path and go towards
Brent,
it.
Because of your role, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to react beforehand. So you don't recognize it for what it sounds in until you kind of turn and you're like, "Archers!" And then I'm going to roll initiative for the things here. Fortunately, these things choose to let me go to the correct layer here. And I'll do my dramatic reveal because this is, as I've mentioned before, my favorite fucking thing about Roll20. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready?
Cannon moves fast.
Here we go, guys. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bum, 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 bum.
Ooh.
Gobbos. So there are a ton of goblins that stick their heads out from these trees. They are laughing maniacally, and they have chosen, unfortunately, to taunt rather than just shoot. So let me make this initiative tracker a little bigger. And move it off the side here. There we go. All right, guys. So we are in an initiative order. So these things have chosen to reveal themselves rather than actually engage with you. So you looks like everyone other than Halen will actually be able to work or to act before. So Oberon, you're up first. What would you like to do? Jeffrey?
Sorry, I just have to unmute first.
All right.
Okay, so I can see them.
You can see them, yeah.
I am going to charge. Boring charge. Wait, how far can I go?
Your boring charge. I think you can make a move and then you can charge if you want. Remember, guys, the name of the song is Move Minor Standard. You have a move action.
Right, I'm just trying to find where on my character it says how far I move.
That is your speed is 5.
Okay.
So
that would mean I can move 10 squares?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, I will charge, goring charge at this goblin over here.
Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead. So you go bellow something out. Go ahead and make your attack roll with your goring charge.
Okay, abilities.
Next up will be Ember.
Powers.
Okay,
Well, not quite yet. I just want
as a minor act.
well, hold on, not just yet. That's what. Just want to make sure you've got your action in mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bam.
12 versus AC. So you know what? Unfortunately, because this thing, I guess because it sees you sort of coming, and you're, charging through a bunch of trees to get there, you actually miss this thing. You're able to be in contact, but it sort of scampers back, and you're not able to connect with your horns. You bellow out in frustration. Make sure that you mark that as well as used. Jeff, so again, guys, I'm going to assume that you don't have a minor action unless you tell me that you are going to take one, okay?
Yeah, no, I don't have a minor action.
All right. So next up is Ember. What are you doing?
Okay. Minor action. I'm using Wizard's Fury.
Okay. What's that do?
To allow my magic missile to be minor action.
So just click on that on your sheet to show. It'll show up in the chat, and then we'll all know what it does.
Oh.
Sweet.
Okay, then I'm casting magic missile at. Try to ping on this guy.
Which guy? Just hold down your left click.
I am.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I can't. How far? Where is it?
I'm like 20 feet.
Sorry, I'm not seeing a ping.
Oh, so there we go. Hold on. Hitting this dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's an auto hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, what is your? Remind me again. What does your magic missile look like?
Where is it? Bam.
Sorry. No, I'm wondering what it looks like.
Oh. A small blue flamish looking sphere.
Nice. Okay, so you say your arcane words. Your I can't remember, what's your implement again? A staff?
Staff.
Yeah. So you jet your staff towards them, and this blue, vibrant, fiery orb flies out and unerringly strikes one. Killing him. Yeah, he explodes into sizzling ichor. And anything else? Were you done?
And as a standard action, I'm hitting this one with a magic missile.
Well, you used a minor to activate it, didn't you?
Yes, but I haven't moved, so I'm sacrificing move for a minor.
For a minor. Oh, I see. Okay, and then your standard is going to be which? To hit which one?
This one.
Yeah. Okay. So same thing too. We'll just say that two of them go blazing out, and you scorch down two of the ones that were on this overlook over here. Awesome. Okay, then it is Rakis's turn. What's he doing?
Well, I think he's going to.
Sorry, Dave. It picked you up and then it just ignored you.
Okay. Sorry, Kev. So Rakis will take his move. I guess it's 6. And he's not going to target this one here. I'm not pinging. Am I pinging?
Is it this one here?
No, it's the one across the way.
That guy right there.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So
is that the one that Ember just hit, or
no? Ember took out 2 other ones on your left.
Okay, perfect.
So great. So
yeah.
your move is a 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then are you charging as well?
Yeah. So he's Rakis is going to set up with Defender Aura.
Yep. As a minor action?
Yep. And then he'll hit with a goring charge.
Okay, let me get your aura up there. There we go. Okay, nice. So I'll just move him over here. Go ahead and make your attack roll, Dave. See how he does. Oh, that'll hit. So you go. Why don't you describe for us how you murderize this goblin archer?
Rakus basically starts charging, working himself to a full head of steam, and it's just he's got blood in his eyes, and gores this goblin on the end of his horn, flips him up into the air, and watches him land in the bushes.
Awesome. So he answers Oberon's bloodthirsty call with one of his own. All right. So then next up is the packs of goblins. So let's see here. The one that is next to Oberon is going to... you missed him. So actually, you know what? His triggered action, he would have scampered back through there anyway, so he wouldn't need to take another action. He will take a step to move back. He's going to use his move to try and reposition himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Moves back to there, and then there are 2 of them that are going to shoot at you, Oberon. Okay. Oberon, let's see here. Your reflexes are not great. You are hit twice. So you take 8 points of damage, Oberon, as 2 shafts. Actually, I'm going to roll for a third one here. That misses. So 2 goblin archers manage to sink their tiny barbed arrows into you. This guy is dead. Well, you know, yeah, he's dead. Of course, that's the one that I have. See here, hold on. I'm going to just move him to the bottom because I think I have I keep accidentally erasing their turns. Let me just reposition this dude up here. There we go. So I'll move Gobbo down here. Then we've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, plus the acolyte. So 2 of them are going to shoot at you, Rakus. What is your AC currently? You got your defender aura up.
My AC.
Oh no, defender aura doesn't. It's just if you've got your shield out. So your shield is out, which means you got a AC of 20. What's your reflexes? Rakus, your reflexes is a 14. I got 1 hit. So the archers in the trees up over here, one of them fires at you and it sinks into your shield, but the other one manages to catch you in your left thigh. You take 4 points of damage. And then the other 3, I think are going to... Actually, 1 more at Oberon, 1 at Oberon and 2 at Halen. So first at Oberon, that hits. Oberon, you take another 4 points of damage. And then as another arrow sinks home, and then Halen...
Am I still stealth, or they saw me?
No, they've seen you.
Okay.
One of them, hold on, what's your Halen? Your reflexes are 16. So one of them misses, but one of them does manage to hit you. You take 4 points of damage as an arrow sinks into your side. You pray that it's not poisoned. All right. Then the final thing that gets to go on the bad guy's turn is that little seemingly Teflon acolyte. He once again grabs his little gree and chants something out, and then this arcane energy shoots out from him and goes towards Rakus. And let's see how he whether it hits or not. I don't think either of those hit. Oh, one does. Okay, so Rakus, you managed once again to get your shield up. You see this vibrant, like sickly yellow energy flying towards you. One of them is kind of splays out across your shield like a spilled Molotov cocktail. The other one, unfortunately, does manage to hit home on your sword arm or axe arm or whatever it is, and you take another 7 points of damage. And this thing hits like a sledgehammer hitting you. It's you're not knocked back, but you feel like you might have been knocked off your feet. Oh, you know what? I can slide you. So I think what I'll do is actually knock you back by 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're sent sprawling through these bushes as this hits you. You don't fall to the ground. So you sort of like, you can kind of picture there's these furrows where your hooves have dug in and been pushed back. And that is the end of the Thorn's turn. Halen, what are you doing?
I'm going to run in and attack.
Okay.
Do we know if these guys are minions? You guys? Does anyone hit?
Brent, I want to keep the metagame talk as minimal as possible. Okay. I don't, as much as it's a tactical game, I want you guys to try and intuitively pick that stuff up. Brent, you've seen. Let me just ask you this: you've seen other people hit these things, and you've seen them go down with one hit. What does that tell you?
It tells me I should be able to move there. Okay. So actually, just pulling up my character here.
Brent, do you have your cheat sheet?
I do.
Okay.
So I just started positioning myself, but what I'm going to do is what's it called? Fallen Needle Strike.
Nice. So why don't you go ahead and click on that?
But I just wanted to make sure I'm moving the correct amount. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because that's 7, right?
Yep. So it's within your range. You can just use a standard move to do that.
Yeah, so I'll just use my standard move to do that. I will attack.
Okay, go ahead and click on your attack roll. 16 versus reflexes. That, I believe, hits. Let's see. Yes, it does. Nice.
All right.
So, and this thing, yeah, Brent, how do you kill this thing?
I run in, pull out my spear, sort of step to the side of its bow and skewer him.
Okay. It thinks it's going to get out of the way and kind of like, and then it moves down and you shift your stab just at the last second and skewer this thing through in the chest. It looks shocked as it dies on the end of your blade.
Do I still have my other, do I see anything near me?
You still have, well, yeah, you can see the other ones that are on there, Brent. There's not anything directly near you. I think all the rest of them are at least like 10, like 50 feet away. But you could shift as a minor action, you could shift 1 square or move 3 because you used your falling needle.
I think I'll shift 1 forward.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of the round.
What kind of cover right now?
I'm not counting it as any for now. I didn't count it for the enemies. I should have counted as difficult terrain, but I am not counting it as that. Oh, you know what? Okay. Hold on, no, Brent. If you want to take advantage of that as like cover that from the goblins, it'll be light cover, so you'll have +2 to your defenses.
Cool.
Okay.
And I believe fallen needle does.
Yeah, great. Okay, so next up is Oberon. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Well, now I am terribly far away from them. I don't think I have any range. So I think I'll. Can I move and use a healing surge, or how does that work? Yeah.
Remember that it depends how you're choosing to use the healing surge. If you're using a second wind, that is a standard action.
Okay.
If you are using one of your twice per encounter, you can use your healing ability to grant a healing surge plus some other benefit to yourself or one of your allies.
Right.
Within I think like 5 squares.
Right. I'll just do like my normal healing surge.
Okay, so you're taking a standard action then?
Yeah, so then I can still move. So I'll move closer to them and use a healing surge.
Okay, so you'll go ahead and add back on whatever the healing surge value is to your hit points on your token.
Okay, so.
Okay, and go ahead and move yourself. Next up is Ember. Ember has apparently promised the goblins a fiery death. So what does Ember want to do?
I'm charging ahead. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I'm double moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm using my minor action to see in range. Let's see.
You guys all have an action point as well, too, I believe. Still, so
Perfect. He's in range.
okay.
Hitting with my magic missile.
Okay, so you, go ahead and click on your magic missile. Let's see how much damage it does. 9. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So let me.
And you know what? I'm going to use my staff's power to hit a second target within
Okay.
5 squares of the primary target. So I can hit that guy.
Oh, God. Whew. So yeah, you what do you call it? So you once again you come like running forward. Is she cursing something out in like crying something out as she's running forward?
Nope. She means silent and deadly.
Nice. She just goes racing forward. You stab your spear out and then quickly jerk it to the side. A vicious blue orb strikes the goblin, shattering its one arm. So it drops down. So it's only holding its gree in one hand right now. It does not look like it's in very good shape. And then when you spin to the side, it's almost as if like you're shoveling something. I think I've got shoveling snow fresh in my mind from earlier today. But you twist your staff to the side, and this other orb goes spiraling out and shoots one of these goblins out of the tree, and it falls down dead. All right, next up is Rakus.
That's used. That's used.
Rax has turned his attentions on the goblin down to the his bottom right-hand corner there.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. That's only there, Dave, because I need that there to keep them on the turn order.
Oh, I see. That's not a natural.
Yeah. It's just sorry. I'll move them out of the way here. There you go. Because if I take if I take that token away, then they drop out of the turn order. They no longer have turns.
Yeah.
What are you
I see. Okay. Rakus will focus on the one farther ahead of him.
Okay.
Still on the right-hand side.
Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you're so close. You're 1 away from him. If you charge, you get within 1.
Okay. Well, you know what? He'll stand there then.
Okay. Well, what you could do, just as an option, your javelins have a maximum range of 20. You could, if you want, spend a free action to drop your blood claw axe. Use a minor to draw a javelin. Use a move to move forward, and then use your standard to throw a javelin at him.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, that leaves you with no axe in your hand, but
What's the range on the javelin, Kev?
is 10/20. So if it's within that thing is within 13 of him right now. So if he moved 6 forward, it would put it in short range.
I was wondering if you can get within short range and get but closer to, like, say, James, or to protect him in the aura or anything. Kind of. Hang on, let me.
I don't want to spend too much time, guys, on this kind of stuff. You can try and move it. Just like what I don't want is the kind of like stop and measuring, so you're like within specific amounts of distance.
Just
so you can try and eyeball
do what you need to do.
Yeah, 1 back.
Yeah. So one.
There you go.
There you go. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thorns in short range, guys. Good job. Okay. So, and what you could do if you want to keep your battle axe close is you could do those other 2 actions once you get there. Drop your battle axe so it's right at your feet. Draw your javelin, and then go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay.
Ooh, that is good enough. So you heft this thing through the air. It's sort of like, wavers in the air, and then hits, and without slowing down, pulls this goblin out of the tree, and it collapses down somewhere off the map. Nice work. Next up is the gobos. So perhaps not surprisingly, the acolyte gets up, he curses at you in Goblin, and then goes scampering off the top of the map.
Oh.
Further down. The other two Gobbos, they're not pleased with where there seems to be a bush between them and that big white Minotaur, so they see the other angry one and decide to try and take a shot at him. Let's see how they do. One of them manages to succeed. Another arrow comes launching down. Dave Rackus takes another 4 points of damage. And Ember flips the goblin her middle finger as a free action. Okay, then next up will be Halen. What are you doing? You just saw a goblin arrow land into your ally, and he once again kind of bleats in pain.
I don't know, just I want to.
Brent, please, don't try and. I don't want this to be turning into a board game. Just try and decide what you want to do. See if you can make it within the move.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm seeing if I can.
If it's 7 away, I don't think you can quite get there unless you want to charge or something like. Or have you got some kind of a? Do you
no, I can only move 10. So that's 1. Oh, 1 short. I guess I could double move and just charge.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, because I think you could do a melee basic.
Because he's 11 away.
Yeah.
All right.
Your
that would
spirit
give him an attack of opportunity, correct?
Say again.
If I do this, he gets an attack of opportunity.
If you move past him,
or yeah, by him up here like that.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Just let him take it.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
Is there a reason that you want to be behind him like that?
Because if I hit one of them with my basic melee attack, then I trigger my centered fury of blows and hit the second one as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then I can hit them both.
So let's hear. This isn't going to do a lot of damage if it helps, because it's just, he's having to hit you with his bow. He does hit, so you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
As you go in, he sort of is getting ready to draw another arrow, and then he sees you and slings out, hits you. But then it is your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to, because I double moved, I think I can only do the basic attack. So I'm going to, I see my guy as running past, and then the guy in front of me, just running straight and leap kicking at him.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack. Wah! Unarmed strike, a 15 versus AC is good enough. You hit him, and you break his little neck. Was it the one up here, Brent, that you were trying to get to?
Yeah, the one. That one. And then I spin and punch the other one in the throat.
Oh, this is your
center fury of blows. So
yes,
for 5
awesome.
points.
Okay, so you also spin around and you break that thing's neck as well. You make it pay for that little bow strike. So the thorns are no more. All right. So guys, this thing drops, and you can hear the what do you call it? The gobbo screaming as it makes its way further down the path. It seems to be sort of swallowed up in the eaves of the trees above you. Now, you do have a moment to catch your breath, guys. So if you want to take a short rest, your encounters will recover, and you will be able to spend some healing surges. Just remember to track what healing surges you spend.
Okay.
Oh, what about the guy back here?
That's just there because I needed something. I needed a token on there to be able to track their turn order.
He was going to be my next target.
Yes, right. Both of you guys. You guys aren't listening to me. Okay, so I'll let you guys. If you do want to spend healing surges, just modify your token so that your health is back up again, and then I will cut and paste you onto the next map as we make ourselves further, as you guys continue on the path.
So in this game, you should It's worth just using your surges, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. The only thing is because you are traveling, remember your surges will not recover until you reach your destination.
Oh, okay. Then no, it's not worth it.
Well, they are there to be used too, though. You shouldn't be cherishing them like pearls on a deserted island, right? Like they're.
No, but
they're
there's
used.
10 of them, and I can heal for 7, and I'm currently for 5 hit points down, so wasting 2 hit points.
The idea is you want to maximize your healing surge value. So don't use it unless you're going to gain all your hit. Well, you're not going to waste any of the healing surge value.
Okay, guys. How do you want to approach this last thing, Brent? It sounds like you might want to be doing some reconnoitering now too, and now that you've had further evidence of the ambush tactics of the goblins, I think your case for a more cautious approach may fall on more receptive ears now.
All right. Well, if no one objects, then I would like to center myself.
Okay.
Do you explain to us what this is for?
Yeah, I think I would have done it. Generally, when I wake up in the morning, I go through some meditation, burn some incense, and then we all get really stealthy. And then when we make camp at day, I do another ritual, or I meditate, and the camp sets itself up for us.
We think we're stealthy, but really we're just stoned from the incense.
Yeah, just as a refresher, Brent, that's not. Remember, we're using my modified rules for it.
Right. Those are 2 separate rituals I'm talking about.
Right, but you also cannot cast them every day. You're just like everything else on a journey. Your pool of available free rituals does not regenerate every day of travel.
Oh, okay. So just when we'll have a long rest after.
When you have a long, well, what I've said is that you will gain. I'm not giving you guys free levels in rituals. I'm giving you basically. We're going to calculate it by components instead. So you have a certain amount of components, and then when you're traveling, you will gain 10 GP, the equivalent of like a first level ritual worth of power each day. So like on a short journey, you're going to be able to do exactly as you intend, where you're just like boom, 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 using a low level ritual each day. But on a longer journey, you're going to have points where there's going to be gaps in it.
Okay.
Because you've exhausted your power. Give me a sec here, Brian. I just want to find the. I think I put the rules as written rules. Let me think here. Give me a sec. Sorry. Oop. Hold on, guys. I just need to quickly do a search here, because once I look this up, I will not need to do it again. Okay, so I think I need. Oh, so it'll give you +2 bonus to your stealth, Brent, to up to 5 targets, and its duration will be dictated by your skill check. Just give me a sec here. Okay. So give me a rich or a nature skill check, please. And let's see how you do. 24, amazing. Okay. And I will update your, sorry, I'll get closer to the mic here. I'll update your character sheet between now and the next session as well, so that you don't have the wrong rules. 24 gives you 4 hours, Brent. Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so you went up to 5. So that means everybody is likewise gaining a +2 to their stealth. So what does this look like, Brent? What is when you perform your ritual? It does take you 10 minutes. What does it look like, and what does it? How does it manifest when when it affects the other players?
It looks like for like the first 9 minutes and 45 seconds or so, it looks like Halen sitting cross-legged with a small, burning a little bit of incense right in front of him, sort of chanting in a low mantra to himself. And then just towards the end, the smoke from the incense all of a sudden gets more intense. And then his voice gets a bit louder and the smoke shoots out and wraps itself around everyone near him.
Nice. And just sort of like muffles the sound, I guess?
Yeah, so they feel a bit muffled or feel like a shadow, or they feel a little, and they'll feel a bit odd too.
Okay, cool. So
in a shadow or smoke or.
So you are all, and I think you guys have been through this before. You guys are all embraced by. I think that the only word you have for it is Halen's magic. But Halen, of course, you know that it's not magic. Okay, cool. So then, are all of you guys going to go down and try and reconnoiter this, or like I shouldn't say I've suggested reconnoitering, but I'm not. I don't want to make that decision for you. What are you going to do?
I think Halen, the ritual helps, but I think Halen might want to check it out himself. He's, I think, a bit more stealthy than everyone else. Well,
Okay.
actually, quite a bit more still.
Sure.
You mean then the Minotaurs? Come on.
Oh yeah, and then like with my yeah. So right now I'm at a plus 13 for stealth.
Nice. So go ahead and give me a stealth check. So I think you just roll, and then we'll add +2 to whatever you roll.
Because I've got those stealth pads on my shoes, that adds an extra one for moving silently.
That actually might be in there. Oh, for moving silently. No, it's not in there. That's right. So +3. So that means a 27. Nice.
You have
All
stealth
right.
pads on your shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And camouflage clothing, so +2 to
Although-
hiding and +1 to move silently.
Okay, but the thing is, that means you're moving silently, but it doesn't mean you're moving unseen. So I'm using your lowest stealth check. So that'll be +2 then. Right?
Well, and
'Cause
I
you
get +2 to hide from gear and +1 to move silently from gear.
Right, but hiding is staying stationary.
So the lowest one would be move silently, which would be +1, right?
No, because you're not getting a +2 to hide. You're not staying stationary. You're moving in cover.
Oh, okay, so yeah, so
Yeah, so your
26
lowest would be the
and
+2.
16,
Still,
gotcha.
26 is fucking crazy good. All right, so what I'm going to do then, guys, is I will just I'm going to move you over to the other map, and I will let you. You know what I'm going to do is actually I got a plan here. So let me move you over. This is what you see, Halen. Boom.
It looks very dark. Oh, hang on.
Uh,
Oh, I just got moved up. Hang on, I gotta move it.
Okay,
Are they
so
like really tall pillars?
it is. Let me zoom in a bit here, and I'm going to reveal what you can see in there so far. Give me a sec.
Why does yours come up?
Here we go.
On my screen, they look like really tall black pillars.
Yeah, what it is an old abandoned structure. And let me do my dramatic reveal here again, guys. Hold up. Because, Halen, I'm going to assume you're going to have an opportunity to sort of, oh, for fuck's sake, come on.
Yeah, for some reason on my Halen screen, my screen, it's just a pitch black.
Yeah. Hold up.
Yeah.
I think I know why. Because it is set for your different visibilities, guys, for whether your characters can see or not, because it is dark. Oh, no, it isn't dark. Hold on. I got to turn that off. One sec. Let me just move these things up to the, oops, wrong fucking layer. Damn it. So what happens when you talk and try and do things at once. Or this is my chewing gum. Oh, God damn it. Come on. I do these one by one. Token layer. Token layer. Token layer. Sorry, guys. I'm sure this is fucking thrilling to watch. Token layer. Token layer. Token layer. Token layer. And token layer. All right, let me go to the token layer. And let me adjust the ambient settings in this. So let's see here. Advanced fog of war. We're going to enable that global illumination. So you guys can't see squat right now, right?
No.
I think I know how to fix this. Hold up, guys. Who's on here right now? Do we have everybody on here, or is it just the 4? Oh, we're missing. What's his name? We're missing Halen. Let me just move him to the side. Actually, I need to.
We don't have Xavier. Shouldn't be here.
No, I'm going to remove everyone's tokens from here and cut and paste from the other, because that tracks your damage you've taken so far. So everybody's together. Let me just cut this. And I learned something in the last month about how to make visibility stuff work on this. So you just need to give me a sec to adjust something here.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to make that work.
So here we go. It's so stupid that it's not set as a default. James, or actually Jeff, tell me if you see now.
Yeah, it's. So what I see is there's like some.
Brent, do you see now?
Yeah. Now I see it.
Okay. So there's a
and we're,
stupid
like, clearing.
default thing here where I have to go into each token and give you the ability to see.
Oh.
So Dave, last but not least here, tell me if you can see. Okay, guys, so that's what you see in there is a bunch of goblins that are in here. What this thing is an old, abandoned, kind of like the remnants of the ground level of a tower that once stood here. Would you, Brent, are you trained in history at all?
I do not believe so, but
You're
let me
not,
just
no.
double check.
No, you're not. So you look at this thing and you know it's not Elven, and it's old, but you're not sure what this thing may have been. But what you are sure now is that this is a haven for a bunch of goblins. This appears to be their stronghold. You can hear the chittering, agitated voice of someone, ranting away in Goblin from this structure. What would you like to do?
Can I get an idea of how many goblins are there?
You think there's about 7.
Okay.
Yeah, about 7 or 8. It's tough to tell because they all look alike.
Right. Man, that's good enough. If I can, get like a rough estimate of them. And the black is a structure?
The black is the walls. Yeah, like I said, this is the ground floor of what once was like a watchtower. But it has either through age or through violence has collapsed. So all that remains now is really the main floor, and then even the ruins of the tower itself has actually been grown over by the surrounding vegetation.
Okay, cool. All right, so now that I know what's happening and where they are, we'll go back and let everyone know. It looks like there's multiple points of entrance. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Of course, it is built into the side of the hill, though, so really there is only one approach.
Right. Okay. I will go back and let everyone know what I found.
Okay. So you guys hear this. What do you want to do? So I can't hear you, Dave.
Offered charging in.
You're offering to parking in? What? Sorry, I know this must be so frustrating for you.
You say it. You tell them.
You got a new job, right? You're translating English into English.
Rakus would like to charge in.
Okay, cool. So let's everyone click on your token and please roll initiative. And I will do the same for the gobbos.
Oh.
Okay. I'll make this thing a little bigger so that we can see
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
When it's doing something weird, when I tried to roll initiative, it said you attempted to use a roll command looking for the value of a selected token.
Brent, did you select your token?
No, that would do it.
It's okay. Okay, so for this guy. Where'd he go?
Okay. Okay, so the token isn't automatically connected to the character sheet.
No, it's not on this one.
Oh!
Oof.
Nice.
And last
Shoot,
one.
I thought my 15 was pretty good. It's useless.
Jesus. All right. Everyone is on there, it looks like. Let me get it in descending order. Boom. All right. So, am I correct in thinking the order will be Rackus and then either Halen and Oberon following Amber up the rear? Is that right, guys?
Yeah, I guess where is Rackus?
Okay, so
right there.
the grid is not enabled on here, guys. So you just have to try and position yourself on the square as best you can.
Oh, okay. Just roughly.
Okay. Yeah. So I think Rackus, I'm going to put you about there. Oberon.
Oh, there's kind of like dots or whatever to indicate.
Yeah, there's dots that set out the squares for it. So.
Oh, okay.
How does that look, guys? Is that an appropriate sort of positioning for your guys? I'll put Kitty behind you here. Is that right, guys? Or
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
Okay.
If you guys are cool with that, it looks.
I'm good with it.
okay? So it sounds like Rackus, you are you're not going in quiet. So there's this Minotaur's battle trout. Unfortunately, alerts the Gobos to what's going on here, and now let's see where they're going. So the first one is this nasty little critter deep in the bowels of the tower. He is going to run out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and try and guys, is the line of sight working for you? Can you not see into that tower?
Yeah, we can't see into the tower.
Yeah, it just looks like
I love that.
black shadows.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
When I look, it does move.
Okay. Okay, so
Well, I can see Black Blade now.
yep, because he's making his way around.
Well, I can see
He's
his
gonna
balls.
He comes running up here. Okay, so that is him. Halen, you're up next. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to open the gates of battle. I recognize Thorn from before, probably.
It's yeah, they're the tiny little fuckers. He's got another one of those little nasty
Was that-
nasty
was-
bows.
Was Thorn? Oh, okay, that wasn't the one who was hurling the spells at us.
No, that is an acolyte.
Okay. All right.
So-
Well, I saw someone move, so I will. Hang on. Oh, because I'm clicking on. I'm going to open the gates of battle.
Okay. Do that. Go ahead and click on what? Okay, so the Brent, are each of those squares through the forest there is difficult terrain. Or do you still have enough to get there?
Yeah. Let me just. I'm pretty sure I do. 1,
I
2,
think so.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because I've got 9 movement.
Nice. Okay. Give him shit.
Okay, let me just pull up my. sheet.
Remember that you can minimize the character sheets by just double clicking on them. That way you don't have to open up each time. I'm not sure if that's what you were doing, Brent, but
Yeah, no, I was just moving it over from the stats to the power state.
sure. So what does it look like when you open the gate of battle too, Brent? Oh, move 9. Amazing. Okay, so you
So I think what I'm gonna do is
Brent, critical strike.
Oh.
Oh no, it's not. It's critical damage. Sorry, the damage was critical. Still, so Brent, that's a fucking amazing damage though. Holy shit! Go ahead and describe it for us, Brent, while I fill in. Holy shit! You killed him.
Oh.
He's an actual fucking enemy too. So tell us how you badass kill this thing.
Okay. As Rackus screams his head off, Halen sort of slightly shakes his head, but then turns when he sees that goblin, and he focuses and just charges right at him with his spear. And as he gets close, because it's full of like vegetation and stuff,
Brent,
he
did you
jumps
pass?
up.
Did you pass through Rackus's square? It won't affect the effect of this, Brent. Like you can move through friendly targets, but I'm actually going to suggest that you scampered over his back.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then as I got there, because it's in rough terrain, he stepped on like a fallen log, leaped up in the air, and brought his spear down two-handed on a downward angle.
So if we see this from the goblin's angle, he heard danger out there. He drew this vicious-looking like short sword, jagged and corroded, made his way around the edge. He was kind of like getting his way up to the edge of the forest to sort of try and get an ambush in on you guys. He hears this rustling, looks up, and then is skewered against the wall by Halen Windspeaker. Halen, are you done?
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Next up is Ember. What are you doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to drop a. Where is it?
Whoa! That is one
Scorching
bold.
Burst.
Okay.
Right here.
Nice. Okay. So you roll the first damage that you roll will be the damage against all of them, but we'll make attack rolls against each of them individually. So let's start with the thorn here. Go ahead and click on it.
I would sign it.
Woo! So this thing is smashed against the wall by this explosive burst of fire and killed. And I got rid of the fucking token again. God damn it. You guys routinely manage to kill the one that's tracking my initiative each time. What did I roll for them? Hold on. Do you remember what their initiative was, guys?
No.
Oh, fuck it, I'll put it on. Oh my god, look who's here!
Hello.
Corey!
Good day.
Hey guys, how is it?
You guys feel a fluttering in your stomach, and then suddenly Xavier appears next to you. Give me a sec here, Cork. I'm just going to cut and paste your dude in here. Where are you? Where are you, Xavier?
Welcome back, boy.
For some reason, my Roll20 is showing a black screen.
Oh, because you don't have a token right now, so you can't see squat. Give me a sec here. I'll get you in there. Okay. And bring you over to the other. Oh, let me make sure I've got a copy here. Copy.
If you join a game halfway through, do you start off at the top of the initiative order or the bottom?
You will roll your initiative in just a moment here. Let me just adjust your the settings on your token here so that you can actually see. Advanced has sight. Okay, Cork. So would you kindly click on your token and then click on initiative, and we'll see where you fall in the order. It is currently Ember's turn. So Ember, you blasted one of those. So
do another roll.
Damage will be 11. So go ahead against this against the acolyte now. 23 reflexes. Holy shit. Yeah, that absolutely hits. So the acolyte takes 11 damage. You know, I cannot find a fucking place where these where it's convenient to have the views, like the little avatars. It means that he's down to. All right, so the waves of fire just bathe the acolyte, and then okay, so Xavier's in a 12. Let me put him in descending here.
I'm also using my Hellfire
Using what,
heart
James?
on that particular, my Hellfire heart on that particular guy, the acolyte.
Go ahead and click on Hellfire Heart so we see what it does. You hitting it? Okay, well you got to sorry, using it against the acolyte.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay,
He's
so
the guy I
then
believe that got away in the last one.
he is, yeah. Which means he is bloodied. So whatever healing he managed to affect on himself, he is badly hurt now. Now go ahead and make your final one against Bunta. 24. Yeah, that absolutely has some great rolls. All right. So Bunta, however, that appears to do almost nothing to this tough, sinewy-looking goblin. He has scars across his body. This tells you that this is not his first time to the rodeo. All right. So the next up will be Rackus. What are you doing? Sorry, James, that was the end of your actions?
Yes.
Okay, Rackus, what are you doing? Amber, both your two clothy allies have gone charging forward for some reason.
Right. And Thorn is still alive, right?
Sorry, I need you to lean in again, Dave. Sorry.
And Thorn is still alive, is he?
It is, yeah, and it's turning its arrow towards that slender form of the tiefling wizard.
Well, since Rax has had a short rest, he's going to employ his goring charge again.
Nice. So you go screaming past Amber. Go ahead and make your attack roll. I'll just move you up next to him. Boom. Is that where you wanted to be?
Yeah.
Beauty. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay.
21. Beautiful. So you go racing up and do you want to gore this thing again? Like wrench it back with your powerful neck and toss it over your shoulder?
Actually, what Rakus will do is grab it with both hands and spear it through the middle and tear it in half.
Your hands have an axe and a shield in it right now. Just as an FYI. You can drop those if you want, but...
Well, you know what? How about Rax will use his horns to pin the pin the goblin to the ground.
Awesome. Okay, so you just skewer this thing down. It collapses like a piñata. That creature is no more. So that was your standard action. You still have a move if you want. You see to your left one of the biggest and scariest looking goblins you've ever seen. He has in his hand this vicious looking flail that has a bunch of jagged, uneven parts of metal on the end. And this thing seems to be, it's built closer to what a dwarf would be built rather than the spindly goblins that you normally fight. It has, it rears its flail back as if it's ready to leap into attack.
Yeah, that's the one that Rakus wants. As a matter of fact, he will unleash Frenzied Flare on him.
Oh, guys, sorry, I forgot to mention. Because you completed 2 encounters now, 2 combat encounters, everybody gets another action point.
Including me?
Including you, yeah.
On my sheet, it already indicates I have 2, so I get 3.
You do.
Nice.
So, Dave, I'm sorry, what are you going to do?
So Rax will move himself up right beside that goblin. Yep. And can he use a minor action?
He can use a minor action. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. He'll hit him with Frenzied Flare then.
I think read what that ability does.
Roll +7 versus AC to hit a target with your Blood Claw axe, doing 1d10 + 5 damage.
Isn't there a trigger to it, though? I thought that there was a...
It basically just needs the Defender aura up.
Sorry, I thought that you had to hit with that, but I don't see anything on that here. So when you hit an enemy with a weapon attack this turn, use a minor action to roll. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yep, go ahead and click on it. Yeah, beautiful. 27 definitely hits Bunta and hits him for 7 points of damage. Okay, so you bring your weapon down on him, and he ducks to the side so he doesn't get the full force of your axe, but it does cut. Adds to the many scars that litter this thing's body, and you now stand interposed between the goblin and your clothy ally. Oberon, you're up next. What are you going to do?
Okay. I guess I move into combat. 1, 2.
Jeff, you appear to have partial cover because you are blurry as hell.
Oh, 4, 5. I think I can move to there.
Yep.
Are you broken?
Kitty will move up with you. No, now you're in focus. You no longer have cover.
Okay. And I will use Fire Strike. We use that. Fire Strike. Roll.
Okay, so you need to be adjacent to an ally. Who were you hoping to give the attack to?
Oh, not quite close enough to rockets.
No.
Oh, could I have stepped past Ember instead of to the side of Ember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Brother!
You can make an attack, a standard melee attack against Bunta.
Yeah, make a basic melee attack. So make an attack with your axe.
Vulnerable to all damage until the end of my next turn.
Oh, so here's what I think happens is, Dave, you have you skewered down that goblin, just annihilated that little thorn. You turned and stepped forward and cut into this thing. Your blood is just boiling right now, and then suddenly your brother is behind you and driving you on to further violence. So you again bring your axe up and down, and let's see how you do.
Now, Bunta's not prone during this, is he?
No, he's not.
And it's just this is just a standard roll with my battle axe.
That's right, just a basic melee attack.
Visually, Kev, is there an aura that I have for an attack like this?
Oh no, wrong thing, Dave. You want to hit your basic attack. Your axe or battle axe basic attack, I think it's called. There you go. Oh, that's a nat 1. Oh, your fury gets the better of you, and you just swing wildly and smash it down against the shattered stones that remain on the ground. Sparks fly out from the end of your axe. Oberon, anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I just want to. Is there a like an aura or some kind of an effect when I use this ability?
Do you mean like a physical effect or?
Yeah, like a visual effect of any sort.
Whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that there's like sort of always a bit of an aura around Oberon, but when he uses this, it's like it looks like he's almost swinging his axe, but it's like his aura, and it transfers to his brother, and then his brother actually makes the swing.
Awesome. I want to point out, guys, remember you can use your action points to take another standard action. And those will, once you complete a long rest, not always, but once you complete a journey, those action points will go away. So again, like healing surges, they're resources to be used. So, Oberon, you are finished? Are you done, Oberon?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Xavier.
Can you quickly?
So you suddenly have appeared. What's that, Brent? Or Cork?
Can you quickly just summarize the scene for me here?
So what you see before you, Cork, is you sort of appeared as everyone is charging in. What you see is this sort of like ruined tower. It's only the ground floor that remains. You can see there's big holes in the side of it where this has deteriorated. And the ruins themselves from the upper levels of this watchtower have been overgrown by the surrounding mountainous terrain. Your allies seem to be engaged with a bunch of goblins. You can hear the bellows of the minotaurs in battle and the screeches of goblins screaming in goblin.
Okay.
Within.
How many squares can I move?
You can move 6.
6.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Okay. So, can my divine bolts reach around my enemies or my friends so they don't get hit?
Yeah, they can reach past them as long as you can actually see. Like if you've got line of sight, the roll 20 should be setting up your line of sight. So if you can, anyone you can see, you can target.
I can see an acolyte from here.
You can see an acolyte who looks pretty beaten around. Yeah, you can go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right. Now it says 1 or 2 creatures. Can I use it twice on the same creature?
No, 1 or 2 targets. So you can have a second, but you could try and hit that crazy. So I think you can see that, can't you?
I can see the corner of the guy up here. I'm going to ping it.
Yeah, I think you know what I'll do, Cork, is if you can see part of this dude up here.
Yeah.
I'll give him cover.
I can see.
So it'll be slightly harder to hit him.
All right. So where is the roll on this guy here?
It'll be under powers. Oh, there you go.
Twice.
Whoa! So a great roll. Okay, so you you raise your hand up, and one lightning bolt arcs out and hits this acolyte, who is hit again. Man, he's almost dead. Alas, poor acolyte. We knew you, Horatio. And then go ahead and make the attack roll against the crazy. So click on that one more time.
All right.
14. So that doesn't. That actually just it arcs along the wall. So Oberon and Rakis, I'm not sure that you guys noticed. I mean, that's not true. You would have noticed the fluttering in your stomach as you were charging into battle, and you were sort of hoping, like, "Oh God, please don't one of us disappear in the middle of this." And it turns out it wasn't that. It was Xavier manifesting because these 2 blinding lightning bolts just shot like on either side of you, annihilating, actually injuring the acolyte further and scorching the ruins of the wall to your right, Oberon. That's it for Xavier.
Hey,
so now,
no. I have a minor action.
yeah, go ahead. What's your minor action?
I want to use Cast Fortune.
I think that's a standard action.
Can I use an action point to make another standard action?
Yeah, of course. What's the range on it though?
5.
I think you need to be 5. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Who did you want to use that on?
I want to use that on Rakis.
Okay. So click on Cast Fortune.
Okay.
And just mark that as used. Oh, fuck.
Wow. That's brutal.
Why, Corey? Why?
Glad it was you, not me.
You had to know. You had to know. I saw the future. You had to know.
Okay. So there is this this moment, sort of like in the movie version of this, Xavier is like sees his, the party tank embattled with this giant goblin, this sturdy looking little thing. He realizes that he is potentially the tides of fate will be turning against him. His eyes flash silver, and he says, "No!" And then he foresees horrible fortune befalling Rakis in the near future. So, Rakis, your next rolls will be a 4, a 3, and a 4.
Those are my 2 favorite numbers.
Xavier, you call out, "No!" Okay, in time for Bunta to have his turn. Bunta is, guys, just for those of you who have not played 4th edition before, Bunta is an elite adversary, which means he gets some of the similar abilities to what you guys do. In particular, he has an action point, which he'll be using right now. So first thing is he will take a step over here. So he repositions himself. He brings that massive flail up and around his head, and bellows out a goblin charge. Oh shit, Dave! It sat on a nat 20 and then it rolled over. So That is a, let's see here, 21. Oh, just barely manages to connect, Dave. He spins that massive thing around.
Stop for 1 second?
What's that, Cork?
This Cast Fortune says the damage dice roll is D4.
The which one? Sorry?
Cast Fortune, it says the damage dice roll is D4.
You don't have damage with that. It doesn't do damage?
Yeah, but is that what it rolled?
No, it rolled. No, it rolled d20s. If you hover over it, you can see what it rolled.
Okay.
Yeah. So this massive flail comes in and hits you, Rackus, and you take 13 points of damage, and you're actually blasted back against that wall that is still scorched from the lightning bolt of your ally. Then he shifts into here, forward, and he's going to spend his action point to. He's screaming something out, chanting over and over again in Goblin, but no one speaks Goblin, right?
Nope.
Okay, so he's moving this thing around so quickly. There's like a kind of like whipping sound with it. It almost sounds like he must have cut holes in some of these some of the flails, so that it's screeching as he brings it around. Against you, Oberon, he brings it down. 20 versus AC does hit. Oberon, you take 4 points of damage, and then it's a 22 versus Rackus. Rackus, you another 13 points of damage. And then he seems to sort of like carry the momentum of this thing, and he spins, and repositions himself back against that wall. He then he sort of
Kev?
Yep.
What happens if the next 13 puts Rackus below 0?
Then you are down.
Death rolls. You got 3 of them, and they're 4 and 3 and 4.
Corey is absolutely correct on that. So
next turn, you are going to use your second wind.
Do you come on here to make me shit my pants, Corey?
This just happens.
Okay, so you don't go into negatives right now. You are at 0, Dave. So just go ahead and put your health at 0. Then this thing calls out for these other 2 goblins. And these 2 things, do you remember those maniac goblins you fought before who seemed to fight with wild abandon? Well, these 2 things, again, call out and try to impress their master. And one of them comes charging in and attacks you, Oberon. Fuck, nat 20. Jesus. You take 10 points of damage. As this axe hammers in on you. And then the second, let's see here. You're down right now, Rackus, and he's not going to hit you when you're down. So I think that's against Oberon as well. He rolls, fucking hell, 21. So Rackus, you take another 5 points of damage. So you've taken 15 in total as these things are hitting in on you. This other crazy is going to move forward, and then it's trying to scamper out here. So he's about here right now. Yeah. And then the next up is the Acolyte. This Acolyte has just had routinely had the shit kicked out of him rather than doing anything.
Oh.
So he... I think what he's going to do is actually run away again. So he goes scampering over here. Let me think here. Bunta's there. I'm going to roll a D20. On an even, he stays. Odds, he runs. He runs! So the Goblin Acolyte once again goes screaming and running off into the woods. I'm actually just going to take him off the count here because I suspect he's going to get away before anyone does anything. All right. So then that brings us to the top of the round. So Halen, as you draw your spear out of the corpse of this goblin blackblade, you can see that all like fucking craziness has just all hell has broken loose to the left of you. What do you want to do?
I will move up to the guy who's trying to flank us because there's just too much. I can't do anything.
Sure. Okay, go ahead and move yourself, and then, or if you're going to do one of your martial arts things, just click on that and then move whatever that allows you.
Okay, I think I should be able to move. No. Okay, give me a second. 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, Dave, I rolled really fucking well. I rolled max damage on each attack against you. So it's not the fact that you, and then I also blew the, what do you call it? The, whatever, the action point to get that thing going too. So.
Do I see the other leader dude, the alkalite? Sorry.
Brent, are you leaving yourself open for an attack of opportunity again?
Yes, apparently by not on purpose.
Well, hold on, Brent. Were you intent on charging, or were you just positioning yourself?
I was just gonna move in and attack, but I guess I should probably not.
Brent, I think you've got enough movement. As long as, sorry, how much? What?
I was here, so I was just gonna come in and just use an at will.
Okay, Brent, from where you were, if you move through your allies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would take you 8 to get there.
Well, I don't have to move through my allies, though. I could just go straight this way.
Well, if you straight what way? Remember, it's difficult. It's difficult terrain, though.
Okay, so I was right here, so I don't have to move through my allies to get to that.
Oh, dude. Sorry, I thought you were on. So it'd be 1, 2 for the first difficult terrain.
Right. 1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you could put yourself right there. Yeah, and not draw an attack for opportunity.
Yeah, right, or okay, actually, probably this way would probably be even better, right?
If you want to make sure that this thing can't just charge past you, then absolutely.
All right.
It's dragging a giant battle axe beside it too, so it clearly has ill intent.
Do I see the alkaloid that was running away at all?
No, it's that thing's gone. I hope you guys understand that is going to be the ultimate ally you fight at 30th level, right? Is that fucking acolyte?
All right.
He is your nemesis.
He's the one that always gets away.
Yeah. He's Dr. Claw. Curse you, Gadget. Brent, oh, nice one. Yeah, that definitely hits. So you sort of see this, Brent, out of the corner of your eye, and with elven alacrity, you once again like pass through those woods as if they're nothing, and this thing sort of comes around the corner as you sink your spear into its chest, and it kind of like mutters something out in Goblin that you don't understand, and dies.
Okay, so I'll use the second part of Fallen Needle to move 3. Oops, hang on.
Okay. And then you're sitting on 2 action points if you want to use any.
Oh, maybe. I'm really close to that door, aren't I? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. So click just
oh wait,
adjust
no, that only gives me a standard action, correct?
But remember, your oh yeah, it does give you standard, and yeah, that's right. You're right. Do you want to wait until next round?
Yeah, because all I'll do is run in, and I won't be able to do anything. I'll just get in people's way.
Hi. Yeah, and I mean, Bunta just beat the shit out of both your tank and I think your healer. So, okay, so that means Ember, what are you doing?
I am dropping a. I'm doing an action point, and I'm dropping 2 scorching bursts right here.
Nice. Well, let's roll for the first one first and see if you annihilate them. So go ahead and roll. 14 reflex. Hold on. I think that actually hits. Oh, no, it just misses. So the first one misses. Gets the second one.
Nope.
Oh, damn it. So you blow it, but unfortunately you position it slightly too high. So it explodes over their heads. Now you've got your second action. Do you want to do as you said?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, so close. Try it again. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, man. So there's like fireworks going off on the inside of this thing, this darkened tower. But unfortunately, it's just not able to connect with these things. Amber, you do still have a move and a minor if you want. Anything you want to do?
You know what? Nope. I'm staying right here.
Okay, so then Ember is done. Rackus, so you're down. You make a healing or a death save, which is a 4, so you fail. And then it is Oberon's turn. Oberon, what are you doing?
Okay. First, I'm going to use...
Does someone have TV on in the background, guys? I'm picking up some background noise from somebody.
Hold on.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks, James. So sorry, Oberon, what are you doing?
First, I'm going to use Ardent Surge.
Nice. I take it that's going to be on your brother?
Yes.
Nice. Rise, brother.
So, I'll roll it. Oh, nice. So you gain,
awesome.
Gain a healing surge plus 6 hit points.
Nice. So, Dave,
speed until the end of my next turn.
Whatever your healing surge is, Dave, take that plus 6, and that's how many hit points you gain back.
Thank you.
And you gain plus 2 speed until the end of Oberon's next turn. So that was a minor.
I think I actually have to do this. I'm going to spend an action point.
Nice.
And I'm going to use my second one of those on myself.
Okay, so go ahead and click on the ability again. Nice. 4 extra.
Wouldn't his rolls be 4, 3, and 4?
Not me.
No. That's only when. Yep. Same team, Cork. Okay. So Oberon, you've healed. So that's 2 minor actions. You still have 2 standard actions and a move if you want, Oberon.
Okay, can I use those standard actions as attacks?
Did you? Oh, absolutely. Did you heal? Because you should have healed 11 points.
My healing surge. It's
7.
7, right?
Yeah. So it's 11 points you gain back.
Yeah, I'll attack the goblin in front of me.
Okay.
Just with.
I will point out, although while Rackus is down, it just means he would have -2 to strike. So if you did want to use whatever the fuck strike that was, that gave him an attack.
Oh, right. Well, you're saying I can do 2, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll use one. I'll use one on Dave. I'll use the Ire Strike on him.
Okay.
Yeah, both me and Jeff can do that heavily.
Nice.
So, and I'll use the Focus Strike on the one in front of me.
Remember, too, Jeff, that you have the ability to augment those. Your green bar is your psychic points, and you can use those to augment the attack, so it can do better effects.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, Dave, why don't you make a basic melee attack? You got -2 because you're prone, but give. Oh no, fuck that. Okay, never mind. Your roll is a 3, so you miss. So you only got 1 more 4 left in you. Oberon, 12 versus AC. That is unfortunately not good enough. So you try to bring your axe down on him, and it is just these things as crazed as they are, they're quite quick as well too. So you're just not able to connect with it. I think you have a move left, and that's it, which could be used for another minor. Anything else you want to do?
No, I guess not.
Okay. Xavier, you're up. What are you doing?
I can see Bunta back there.
You can see Bunta now, yeah. That's that
Bunta
big tough
guy?
That is Bunta is the big tough goblin that just kicked the shit out of those 2 minotaurs.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my purging strike on Bunta.
The purging flame?
Purging strike.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yes. I think it's called purging flame, isn't it? Well, we'll go ahead and click. Okay, I may have mistyped it. Go ahead and click on it, Cork. Oh no! 11 versus reflexes. That's no shit. So hopefully it's got a miss effect. Okay, so it does half damage on a miss.
Hold on, you got memory of 1,000 lifetimes because you're diva.
Oh yeah.
Roll 1d6.
All right.
That might make it a hit.
What do I do?
Or did you not give him that racial ability?
I don't think he's got that racial ability.
Okay.
Anyways, it does half damage.
It does.
This half damage and ongoing fire damage save ends.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So he's now on fire. So this divine fire washes over him and leaves a lingering, flaming aura. He takes half damage, which is 6 damage. Okay. So that's that. Ooh, he seems to relish in the pain that it causes, and begins to spin that flail around again.
All right.
Xavier, anything else?
I just re-rolled initiative.
Okay. So go ahead and click on your initiative again. Let's see what you do.
All right.
Remember to mark your purging strike as used.
Okay. Did that initiative not work?
Click on your token, then click initiative.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yes.
Well, you'll have an action again.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yep. Okay, so then Bunta's turn. Let's see if Bunta's ability recharges. It does not. So he says, unfortunately, he positioned his goblin allies poorly there.
How do you click that it's used?
There is on your character on the power. There is hold up here. You open it up. Character sheet. Used is on the right side. There's a little box that says used. There you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Bunta is
Different.
gonna try something. He reaches into his pouch and tosses something at you guys. Let's see here. Evens or odds? Odds. It'll be at the standing Minotaur. So let's see here. No. So he tosses something, and Oberon, you see this flying through the air at you. You deke out of the way, and something shatters against the side, and this vicious sort of like sizzling mist comes out. You are quite grateful that it missed you. Then
Farts.
he leaps forward and swings over the head of his allies. And he is able to attack both Oberon and Rakis. But Rakis, I'm actually going to give you cover because normally being prone gives someone a bonus to hit you, but just for this guy to hit you, he'd have to hit through the goblin ally. Oh, actually, he's attacking both of the goblin allies too. So let's see what happens to them first. Oh, apparently he was a little too over anxious. In his massive sweep, he kills both of the goblins. Let's see if he hits you guys as well.
WTF.
Oh man, 24 against you there. Oberon, you take 10 more points of damage as this thing slams into you. And then against Rackus, no, it's 15. So he misses you, Rackus, but he does, that thing leaves a bloody haze in the air where it cuts into your brother. That is it for Boonta. We're up to Xavier again. Xavier, what are you doing?
Okay, I think I'm going to hit Boonta with a. What do we got here? What's good? What's good?
If you want to help your allies,
I want to move. What's that?
I say if you want to help your allies, your Sunstrike ability might be quite helpful.
What does that one do?
If you hit him, then you get to slide that target 1 square. You can position him exactly where you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Rackus and Oberon, where would you want him?
Next to you guys.
Like right in front of us, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it's not.
And I can always slide him on my next turn as well. Which I think I'm next.
Okay. Well, Xavier, let's see how you do. Let's see if you hit with the Sunstrike. 19 reflexes does hit. So there's a beam of radiant energy that flares from the end of your hand. It hits him, and he sort of staggers. Where do you want to put him? Just go ahead and ping what square you want him in, and I'll do the damage. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot something. He also burns last turn from the fire. And you just hit him for 12. So there's, okay, guys. He's nearly bloodied. Let's see if the fire ends. He's still burning.
Question mark, where do you guys want this guy? You want him
Dave, you go ahead
or in front of you?
Well, he's already gone this turn, so in front of us is better, so we can attack him next turn.
Okay, so he staggers forward towards you guys. Sort of like, clawing at the air at after images. All right, and then we turn to Halen. So you're running your way around the side. What would you like to do?
I'm going to continue running my way around the side. I'm just gonna hang on. Just give me a second here. Zooming out my screen a little bit. Too fucking
He's gonna tuck into that little nook there and take a quick elven pee.
Okay, so yeah. Hold on, my
3.
Give me a second here.
Sure.
2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. Does that work?
Oh, nice.
So that's flanking, correct?
That is, yeah. You got +2 to hit.
All right.
Did you count the difficult terrain you moved through there, Brent? The little triangles there are.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's 1 square difficult terrain. So hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. Is it? Let me see what attack I'm going to combine it with. It might be able to get that extra.
Okay.
What's your movement, Brennan?
Huh? It's 7, but I need 8 to get there.
Well, how much does difficult terrain add? 1 or 2?
He needs the. It costs 2 to go through it. So what he needs. Oh, he wants to use open the gate of battle, but he did do that already.
Okay, shoot.
Brent, if you used falling needle, you could, in theory, have enough movement to get there. James, your camera's working. Your mic is not, though.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
That face is great, though.
Where's the point?
You finally fixed your camera and broke your mic.
Sorry, Brent. What I was thinking, if you use falling needle, you could use a move to move as close as you. Yep.
Yeah, it would work because it would give me the extra points.
Oh, okay, cool. Was that your attack roll?
Yeah, +2, so 12 versus reflex. Does that work?
Oh, 12 versus reflexes is so close, but not quite close enough.
Okay, Alvin accuracy then.
Awesome. Go ahead and make your roll again. Just click on the same power.
All right.
Then I got a whiff of steam. Going off the winter's hat.
That will do it. Beautiful.
Actually, I
So-
didn't. Hey, Kev.
Yep.
Although the attack failed, my movement would have still got me there, right? So I guess Alvin accuracy would let me repeat the same attack. I couldn't use a different power, correct?
No, what Brent? No. Read what Elven accuracy lets you do. You can reroll
Right, okay.
one dice. You don't remake an attack.
Oh, okay, got you.
But you did do 7 points of damage to him. So Brent, congratulations! You have bloodied the first elite monster you guys have fought.
Okay, I'm not done.
So
I still want to spend an action point to get an extra standard.
Awesome. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to use Dragon's Tail.
Nice. Go ahead and click on that.
Did I knock him prone?
20 versus Fortitude.
22 because I'm flanking him.
That's right. Yeah. 22 versus 4. Let me tell you, Brian, do you really think that a 22 versus Fortitude is going to be big enough to knock down the toughest, meanest goblin that you've ever seen?
He's kind of wee.
But he's sturdy. You're making my point. Do you think that's high enough?
I say so. I give him a little kick in the knee to knock him prone, help him down.
Well, then you convinced me. You're right. You knock him down. He takes another 10 points of damage, and he is prone.
So you act people in front of me or on the other side of me. Remember your feet.
So this guy gets -2 to his next attack because of Brent's first attack. He also takes -2 if he's still prone when he attacks, and you guys have +2 to hit him.
Nice.
Oh, and I believe the 2 Minotaurs have a special axe feat that adds +5 damage to their attacks.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes.
Okay, so let's hear. Next up is Ember. Now, Ember, the downside is this thing is prone, which means it's got +2 to its defenses because of its prone against range attacks. But what would you like to do?
I'm going to magic missile his ass.
Awesome. Go ahead and click on that. He is not. So through the legs of Oberon, right? Maybe just over Arrakis, I guess. This thing scorches in that blue flaming sphere.
Can I spend
blasts
another
away
action?
more of this thing's flesh. Sorry, what was that?
Can I spend another action point?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, hey, Kev.
Yeah.
I would have done an extra 5 points to him from
That
Fury
again?
of Blows as well.
Bam.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll count that, Brent. Thank you.
So I hit him with another magic missile.
Holy shit. So he is just getting fucking pummeled. He's gone from being this juggernaut of goblin might to just being fucking annihilated. He's blasted and bloodied just in time for Rakkus Bloodhoof's turn. What do you want to do, Rakkus?
Do I have any kind of automatic roll that I need to get through?
No. Yeah, that's right, because your next roll's a 4 again.
Can I use action point to like negate that, or just
Effectively, what you could do, Dave, is you could spend an action. You could use an attack, get your 4 out of the way, and then spend your action point to make another attack.
yeah? Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, cool.
Why don't you attack the wall and try and get rocks to crumble on that guy?
He's still going to fail though because it's a 4.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter either way. So
Okay, so your action point's gone. You bring your now. Did you want to spend a move to stand up? That does not draw an attack of opportunity.
yeah, let's do that then.
Okay, so you've got both combat advantage and +2 to hit. So you got +4 to hit against this guy right now.
So Rakkus will spend a minor to Berserker Fury,
Okay.
and then he will follow that up with Savage Cut.
Savage Cut. Go ahead and click on that. Let's see how it goes. Your aura is gone now. Here it comes. Boom, boom, boom. Oh! Dave, why don't you tell me how Bunta the Goblin legend dies?
Rakkus stands up. He uses his sword to like push him up. After he's done that, he holds he swings the sword up behind him and up over his head, and cleaves them in half.
So he's cut right in the center of his chest. Bunta drops his flail and sort of tries to push his goblin innards back inside. Hi, sweetie. Oh, so Annie came to check on me. Yeah, he unfortunately kind of looks up, and you see this momentary through the blood fury that is just engulfing and inflaming your soul. You can see a moment of respect before all life drains from this thing's eye. The Bunta's horde will no longer trouble the travelers along this road. Yeah, go ahead.
Oberon and Rackus are like high-fiving each other and like, that was awesome!
Stomping
Oberon,
around.
there's like goblin intestines hanging off of his shoulder or something.
Nice.
Then we just start losing it laughing.
Rackus starts cutting off body part trophies off of Bunta and offering them to Oberon and the other team members.
Nice.
Nope.
Okay, guys. So that is that is the end of the encounter. So now you guys are free to take a short rest again. All of your encounter abilities will recharge. Your dailies will not. You can spend healing surges freely. Just make sure you track how many you spend on your Roll20 character sheet. I need to run to the washroom very quickly, guys. So if does anyone else need to take a bio break as well?
Yeah, I could use one.
I think we all do.
Okay, so let's take a 5-minute break here, guys, and we'll just reconvene afterwards, and I'll tell you what you find in Bunta's horde.
Can I look around here? Is that okay?
Testicles. Mostly testicles.
That was pretty funny, Dave.
Rackus, where did his balls go? Nowhere.
The fortune was hilarious.
That
especially that you were into death saves.
I know, right? I'm like, really? Now? Now? All right. I guess now.
Fuck, I guess I should spend 3 healing surges.
Do I still have like lowered hit points from last time?
Probably.
Or do we heal that shit into short rests?
We haven't rested.
Aren't we resting right now?
Well, it's a short rest. Yeah, we're taking a short rest.
All right, I'm back.
So I can do a healing surge then?
You can spend as many were you injured?
I carried over from last time.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, you can absolutely. Just what you need to do, Cork, is just track. I think it's listed as current healing surges. Let me see here on your character sheet.
7 a day.
Current surges. So you're gonna, if you're gonna spend a healing surge, your surge value is 5. So every healing surge you spend, you heal 5, and just count however many you are using.
Where does it say current surges? Here we go. So that should be 6 now.
Did you? You might have spent one last time.
Last session, yeah.
Yeah. Because whatever you spent last session would have still been spent.
Okay. So then my current hit points should be. Oh, my max hit points are 22. Why does my bar look like it's not full?
Because you're down to 17 hit points right now. If you spend a healing surge, you will be back up to full.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll adjust your bar. Boom. You're back up. Okay, great. So I'll wait for Brent and James to get back, and then we'll talk about what you guys find.
Kev.
Yes, sir.
Rackus takes Bunta's ear and turns it into a necklace.
Nice. Okay. You absolutely do that. So make sure to, under your equipment on Roll20, make sure you add that to your list. Actually, hold on. I decided to try and be proactive here. which is a word I hate, to keep a campaign log on the laptop while we're playing here. So Rackus keeps Bunta's ear.
Did you say you hate the word proactive?
I really, because of there's an old Simpsons episode where they make fun of that word, where it's the one with where they introduce Poochie. And there's a network exec who's in a room who says, you know, we need to have a character who's more proactive and whatnot. And one of the writers is like, isn't that one of those words that stupid people use to try and get to sound smart? There's this pause, and he's like, I'm fired, aren't I? And she's like, oh, yes. Ever since that episode, I always think I actually had a job where a supervisor used the word proactive in front of like a big group of us. And then I told that story, which sort of implicitly said that she's fucking stupid.
That was proactive of you.
That was proactive of me, yeah. I did not stay at that job very long. Okay, I think we're all back now. So, all right. So, what you guys? Oh, Brent, are you there? Is that your shoulder?
Hi.
Hey, there you are. Okay, so guys, what you find is in the back here, in the back of this tower, there are a few heaps of bodies, some all in various stages of decay. One of them is quite small, which makes you think that it is a halfling who is not long dead. And there are a couple of humans in there as well, too, or at least human-sized bodies. Amongst these, on the what do you call it?
We're gonna loot the corpses.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was going to happen.
But what you found on the halfling, we're going to give back to that other party.
The other party was heading to Overlook, so maybe a while before you have an opportunity to do that.
If we can find any sort of personal items, I'm going to hold on to it.
James,
Sure,
you're
so
super echoey.
I know I haven't fixed that.
He said that he's going to keep the personal items. So you do, James. Actually, there does appear to be some, like keepsakes. There's a wedding ring on one of the human bodies. There is you can tell there's a crest on one of them. Guys, anybody who is trained in history, can you make a check for me, please?
History.
Yeah.
I'm only keeping what I was on the halfling because I suspect it's part of that member of the other party.
If I have a -1, does that mean I'm likely trained in it?
No, it'll be if you are. Hold on, actually, I can tell you who's trained. Ember is trained, and that is it. So, Ember, go ahead and make a check.
What kind of check?
History, please.
Okay.
16. 16 is good enough. So you're looking at this tower in a little more detail, and it dawns on you, Ember, that you think that this actually might have been during the like I said, about 15 or so years ago. There is when that massive army of goblinoids and other evil creatures marched under the banner of the Red Hand and tried to assault all of the Elsyr Vale. This actually may have been one of the strongholds of the Red Hand, because you know that near Skull Gorge is where one of their major outposts was. So there's nothing otherwise that sort of goes with that, but it is a historical curiosity.
Cool.
So, what you guys find is well, you find one thing. There is a satchel where either or a sort of a storage place where Brent, are you listening or are you reading?
No, I'm listening.
There's video on this that would suggest otherwise.
I know. I'm still listening.
There is a hoard where what do you call it? Where either Bunta or the Acolyte has been keeping some things, and you guys can find what you think is a tanglefoot bag. So something where you can toss, and it sort of like vines and sticky stuff all shoot out, and it traps things that are near it. You also find a 1 second here. Somebody roll a 1d8 for me.
Nice.
Okay.
That was easy.
Let's see here. That is called a... Oh, nice. So you find... Here we go. 8 herbal poultices. And what these are, guys, is you can spend a standard action before you or an ally takes a short rest. And then what you do is you gain 2 extra hit points whenever you spend a healing surge.
Sorry, what are they? 8 herbal...
8 herbal poultices. So basically what it is, guys, is every one of those can be expended to during when you take a short rest, you're going to gain 2 extra hit points for each healing surge that you blow. You also find that's in the goblins sort of crap. You also find 3 carved what looks like some kind of like a large bird bone of some kind, and there is some arcane markings on them. Let's see here, who is trained in it? Can I get an Arcana check from Ember and from Xavier, please?
Arcana?
Arcana, please, yeah. Okay, so Xavier doesn't have any clue what this is, but Ember, you do. So the what do you call it? The goblins, it translates into roughly what's called better bones. And what they are is sort of like a good luck charm. You break the better bone, and then it gives you fortune. So mechanically what it is when you have 3 of these things, when you break a better bone, you'll get +2 to your next skill check. And these can be used, I'll allow these for travel as well, guys. Because you need to make those checks on the travel. It will just be recognized as like the good fortune on your travel. So you've got those 3 better bones. That's been distributed. You also find a ooh, this is pretty cool. You find a rolled up bed rest, or like a bed roll, which seems to have an arcane aura to it.
And a stain.
And a stain. There is pee on it, so sorry about that, but
So does it float? Is it like an air mattress?
it is sort of like an air mattress. Give me a sec here and I can tell you what it does. Here we go. Awesome. So whenever you complete what this thing is, one interesting thing about it is that it seems to resize to whoever unrolls it. So like Halen will unroll it and it sits perfectly to his height. Rakus, you pick it up and roll it out and it gets a little bigger. When you guys use this thing to complete an extended rest, you roll 1d8 and you have that many temporary hit points until you take another rest. This is a restful bedroll.
What happens if a giant unrolls it?
Then you get a giant canvas-sized rest.
If a giant unrolled it and we all slept on it at the same time.
You guys, I can see one problem with that plan is that no giants.
I don't think giants like to cuddle. That's what I've heard.
No, or at the very least, you wouldn't want them to cuddle. Okay, and you also find, guys, this is pretty sweet. You find a total of hoarded coins worth 180 GP.
I'll take that.
And finally, what may be of interest to the ritual casters in the group, you find a fairly thick ritual book. It looks like some of the pages were torn out of this thing, but
Nice.
there is what do you call it? There are a bunch of rituals written inside there. Now, these rituals include Comrade's Succor. Once you replace the page, James, you realize that one of them is Dancing Lights. That's what you were holding before. Portend Weather. I'll send you a list of all these two guys. I'll just rattle these off. Hold Portal. Magic Mouth. Make Whole. And Purify Water. There are also a couple ones in there that you actually cannot read right now, or you can't quite comprehend them. You know that they are rituals, but they're beyond your capacity at this point.
Sorry.
There are 3 of them in there, guys. So there's 4 of them in there. Actually, I'll put 4 of them in. The 4 that are in there, one of them is something called Last Sight Vision. It appears to to give you access to the last thing that a corpse saw.
Cool.
Another one is called Explosive Runes. I'll let you guys guess as to what that does. The third one is Continual Light. And the final one is one called Pyrotechnics that allows you to do really neat things with fire. So I will send you guys a list of those rituals, and you guys can tell me if you want to spend some time once you arrive at your location to try and study these. You unfortunately cannot study them on the road. It's not something, it's just you don't have the comfortable environment in order to do that. So that's what you find there. Oh, sorry, I forgot. There were a couple other things. You also found in there's 2 other things. Is that right? Yes. You find on one of the corpses there is a cloak that appears to be have some kind of enchantment to it. It appears to have very blocky runic script. Let me see the languages. Anybody speak Dwarven?
Not
I
me.
don't think so. No.
Not in years.
Okay, so I think that you maybe recognize the script as Dethic runes, the script of the dwarves, but you're not sure what. It's got a very like somber kind of brown fabric with this blocky, but almost like metallic-looking threading around it. If you guys want to focus and try and figure out what this thing does, Ember and Xavier, you can give me a Arcana check.
Okay, can I put it on?
If you want. So what this thing is, this is a
Makes people
cloak.
think you're taller.
Yeah, this is a cloak of the walking wounded. What this thing does is once per day, when you spend a healing, when you are bloodied, so you're below half hit points, and you spend a healing surge, you gain the benefit of 2 healing surges.
Maybe someone else should take this.
The Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Who almost
Yeah,
died.
but either the tank or either the tank healer or myself as a melee striker with no hit points. But one of those 3.
I'm thinking the healer. Keep him up so we can heal.
Yeah, that's probably good.
So sorry, who's taking that?
Me?
Oberon's taking. Okay, I will add it to your character sheet. Okay, so that's what you find in there, guys. Oh, and sorry, there was one other thing. You found 2 potions of healing.
Ooh. I will grab one of those.
Okay. So, and what a potion of healing does for you?
I think the other one should go to the other Minotaur.
It causes 2d6 necrotic damage. I know that sounds weird, but it's very weirdly. No, I'm kidding. It
It's
obviously
like a reverse healing potion.
Yeah, exactly. So what you do is you spend a healing surge and you gain 10 hit points instead of whatever your healing surge value is.
Yay.
So sorry, who's taking the second healing potion?
Oh, actually, those should go to someone who's got.
Yeah, people who have low healing surge values should use those.
Yes.
Yeah, like mine's 5, so that's like 2 healing surges right there for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Halen takes 1. Who wants the other one?
Give it to the boy.
To Xavier? Okay,
Sure.
Xavier, you got it. You got a healing potion now.
I never see combat though.
Who's taking the restful bedroll, guys? Who would benefit most from having extra temporary hit points at the start of each day?
I don't know. Either myself or the tank, I guess.
Yeah, probably one of you.
Yeah.
Could probably use it.
Xavier, you don't want the healing potion? I actually tend to rush in, so if you don't, I'll take it.
Okay, so sorry, Rackus is taking the bedroll?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He wears it on one of his legs.
Okay, and what about the better bones, guys? Who wants to take those?
Well, those are the things you break?
Yeah, you break them and you get +2 to your next skill check.
I want that shit.
You want 1 or all 3?
Well, is it an option to take all 3?
Ask your team members. What do you think?
Well, we could. We might be able to split them up. I don't know.
Maybe if I saw them first, maybe I grabbed 2 of them and then pocketed them and showed everyone else one of them.
Okay.
Do I have to make a check for that?
Yeah. Why don't you make a thievery check for me? Yeah. you're going against everyone's passive perception. Oh fuck, 19.
Oh.
Jesus. Yeah, no one sees you do that.
Okay, so I found this better bone and I give it to Ember.
To Ember, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm kind of sort of imagining that's not the first time that he's done that shit to Ember. Okay, cool. So then, guys, there's a lot of rituals that you have available to learn now, and these things have been defeated. Ember, you are able to collect a fair amount of the sort of personal effects that you find in amongst the bodies as well. There is a pretty deteriorated sort of like merchant's traveling manifest as well too. It appears to be someone who is setting out from Drellin's Ferry, which is sort of your next stop off towards Overlook. It is dated about a month ago too.
What's on the manifest?
There's some let me think here. It would be salted cod or some kind of salted fish that was being transported off to Overlook. If you do some searching around the sides of the tower, you probably find the smashed remnants of those crates.
Okay.
Okay. There's also, I guess, Bunta's really crude flail that you could take as well. It does not register as enchanted, but I'm not sure if you want to keep that as a keepsake at all.
That's on you guys.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Rackus will take it. I mean, if no one else is going to claim it.
Okay. So you've got that flail. So the flail, like I said, it's non-magical, or at least not enchanted at this point. But I think what I'll say is that on the first round of combat, if you spend a minor action sort of winding it up, it'll give a penalty of -2 to the attacks of anyone within 5 squares. It's basically a fear effect that kind of like yay, because it makes that weird screeching sound. So I'm not saying what I'll do is I'll add that to your character sheet, and then if you choose to use it, you'll have that available. Okay. All right. So apart from what we've discussed so far, there's nothing else that you find in there. So there really is just there's the road to hit again. Anything else you guys want to do here in Bunta's lair before you guys hit the trail again?
Is this a good place to camp?
I mean, camp in a sense, Brent, we're using abstracted travel rules, so there's not going to be you're not going to get any of your dailies back until you reach your destination. So, narratively, yes, you could spend your time here, to camp out for the night, but you're gonna hit the road again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I just think it's a good place to camp. It's sheltered.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, this is where goblins have been living for several months, so it's pretty fucking ripe in here, I guess.
Not
So-
for my sensibilities.
It's good for the sense of like it's protecting you from the elements, but it is pretty awful in here because it's full of like goblins don't really have a concept of an outhouse, so.
Well, I mean, I can I take a reconnoiter, see if there's somewhere nearby that make good camp?
We'll say you do that. Yeah, I mean, there's no mechanical benefit to it. You don't get to. What you can do is you can try and as part of a journey, if you feel the need that you need to take a long rest, you can do that. But there may be other stuff that happens while you're trying to find that location. Like it's part of the sort of mini game that makes up the travel in this game.
Sure, and then I'll go and see what kind of game if I can bring back any game or something like that for food.
Sure. Well, just so you know, Brandon, so the way that it sort of works for travel is everyone has sort of a different. There's 4 roles that you guys play, and those things can be triggered by what you encounter along the path. The roles are guide, scout, hunter, and lookout, and you can't do more than one of them. The way that at default for going on who has the highest stats, Oberon is the guide. Halen, you're the scout. Your job is to scout out a place for you guys to camp, things like that. Rakus is the hunter, and Xavier is the lookout. He's the one who keeps his eyes open, which leaves Ember as sort of the artillery if you guys do get in trouble. So Rakus, as once the initial adrenaline surge from defeating this mighty foe wears off, you again still find yourself exhausted and ready to, you sort of curse to yourself that like never again the fucking mountains. You and Oberon grew up on the plains of the endless plains in the north. Minotaurs don't belong in mountains, at least not above them. So you guys set out for back on the road. Yep.
Yeah. Before we head out, Rakus will take Bunta's. He'll basically skin Bunta and basically put his hide up in the doorway.
Awesome.
And Xavier is just eating and watching him do this.
That's fucking terrific. Okay, so yeah, Ember, would you make an insight check for me, please?
Okay. While I'm doing that, I'm actually walking out of the tower because I'm not into this brutality.
No. Insight. Okay, good enough. All right, so here's the thing. Here's a little bit of what you've learned about Xavier is that Xavier seems to run to extremes when in terms of his personality. He can be the most generous and thoughtful little kid at times, and then can run to like just unthinkable cruelty. It hasn't got to like not to the point where he's killed anyone or anything like that, but it's just he's got an incredibly mercurial nature to him, and you sort of look over and you see that flash of gold in his eyes again as he is just entranced by Rakus, what Rakus is doing. Do you do or say anything?
I do not. I will keep note of it and watch for patterns in the future.
Okay. Okay. Oberon and Halen, any other kind of role-playing stuff you want to add before we... Halen, you did find a place relatively nearby that would be, it's nice and it's open to sort of the breeze. So this is closer to what your home environment was like. You're on the other side of the not the Wyrmsmoke Mountains. Yeah, the Wyrmsmoke Mountains. Your tribe comes from the far side of it, but this is very much like where you kind of grew up.
All right.
So you find it a very relaxing thing. In fact, you know what, Halen? This is so close to your home environment, I will let you recover 1 healing surge.
Cool.
Now, you guys set out the next day. Ember, you don't need to make a roll for this, but you know that. So if you give everyone else the background of what this tower is, you know that we must be coming up on Skull Gorge soon. And what you know from that good roll from before was that during the siege or the attack by the Red Hand, the heroes who sort of repelled the horde or the Red Hand, they actually there's this massive span that is said to cross the Skull Gorge, allows travelers to get across. And during the Red Hand or the attack of the Red Hand, they actually destroyed it. They used powerful magics and dwarven pyrotechnics to destroy this mighty span. You've heard it's been rebuilt since, but it's only been 15 years, right? What possibly could be rebuilt during that time?
Sorry, what was destroyed?
The span, a bridge.
Oh, span.
That went across the gorge. You'd never seen it yourself, but it's something that stood. Again, this overlook and the surrounding region here. This dates back to the Age of Chains, a time that lives in forgotten memory. Or a time beyond memory, but when the world and the races were young and new. So as you guys are traveling along, that sort of is maybe you can decide for yourself just how important each of your characters finds that. But you reach a point where the path has been progressively going down, and you reach a point where you start hearing this sort of roar up ahead of you. And you all sort of look at each other, and you're not sure what to make of it. And as you get closer, you hear this roar is getting louder and louder. It doesn't sound like, at first you think, maybe it's some kind of beast, but it's too omnipresent. It's too big to really be any one creature. Or if it is one creature, you pray that you will not come upon it. So you carry her along, and then once you sort of reach this turn in the pass, you realize what the sound of the roaring is that you're hearing. And this is what you see, guys. Is this massive waterfall crashing down to your left. The air around you feels suffused with moisture as the mist rises up from this and carries around to this beautiful green pass. And what you see before you is this enormous fortified entrance into the cliff face. And across it is the rebuilt spire over Skull Gorge. Now, this, guys, this is one of the wonders of the age. So what I need you to do is, would you each please make either a, let me think here. It's going to be either a history or a nature check. You choose which of the two you make, and just go ahead and make your roll, and I'll tell you what happens. Ooh. Shit. Poor Rakus. Oh no. Okay, Rakus, do you have any action points left?
Yeah.
If you would like to spend your last action point, you can re-roll that.
Okay.
Um,
Watch, we'll get like a 3.
25 for Ember.
Hey, not 20, baby. Nice. Okay, that was worth. Okay, so you guys all succeeded. So witnessing this wonder of the age, guys, it actually raises your spirits. You can feel like, this is a symbol of the determination of, the mortal races in the face of defeat or the face of adversity. It also shows just how in the span of 15 short years, the Dwarves of Overlook completely rebuilt this span across Skull Gorge. As a result of that, guys, each of you, because each of you succeeded, Dave, you lose your level of exhaustion. if any of you other guys had suffered exhaustion, you would be free of it. You will also get a +1 now to your arrival check. So when we arrive at Drellin's Ferry, you will have an even better. Your spirits are higher, so you're more likely to arrive in a rested and relaxed state. So congratulations, guys. Now you make your way across the mighty span and into this tower. Now, or into this tunnel. The tunnel itself is worked stone by some dwarven hands. I'm not sure if anyone's got any kind of... Do you think any of your guys would be able to recognize stonework? I don't think so, but I'll leave it to you to decide. No?
No.
No, okay. So this seems old in any event. And at regularly spaced intervals, there are what appear to be torches burning. And if you spare a glance at them with any kind of magical insight, you'll see that they are enchanted and from quite long ago. So you travel along this tunnel for probably
something about this harkens to me.
Oh, okay. How so?
I don't know if it's something from a bygone age or a past life or something, but
okay.
I want to make an insight check.
Sure. So go ahead and make an well, insight would be to look into... Insight is sort of like perception with living things. So what actually you do, Cork, is you... So let me see here. Actually, you know what? Everyone else make a perception check for me, please. I just want to see if you guys actually notice something.
Do we see any like guards or anything?
No. This is just it's a pass. Ouch. And if you sort of like are trying to make sense of it, if the Minotaur and Halen are sort of looking around studied or sort of confused, Ember, you can tell them that this is the Skull Gorge Pass. This was built by the dwarves again, like at the end of the Age of Chains. They built this for a way for travelers to travel elsewhere in the Elsyr Vale.
But they don't leave anyone to defend it?
Well, it's not. It's just a tunnel.
Oh, okay.
There's no buildings or guard places or whatever in here.
Okay. I just thought maybe because it's like strategic value.
Well, here's the thing: is like from the picture you can see that there does appear to be stuff up top, but
right.
Dwarves are notorious for hiding doors, right? So there may be an entrance to access those things, but you guys haven't looked for it. Okay, let's see. How did everyone's perception do? Ooh, Ember, 1. You were not seeing anything. Rackus, was that a nat 20 or was that a modified 20? No, that's a modified 20. Okay, so Rackus, what you see is Xavier sort of has been, as he's walking along, or as all of you are walking along, Xavier seems to be dropping a little further back as he's sort of, watching these the torches as he goes by. The torches are not set up like Xavier is a child-size, child, but these torches are not set up terribly high in the walls. No doubt due to the architects of this structure being dwarves. And you sort of notice that Xavier has finally actually to the point where he's stopped and he's sort of standing in front of one of the torches. And Cork, there's something you can hear, sort of the sound of the crackling and the dancing of the flame seems to get louder than everything else to the point where it's the only thing you can hear.
All right, I'm just like standing there zoned out staring at the torch.
Actually, you're bringing your hand up and you're sort of moving it back and forth almost in rhythm with it. And there's a small bit of like a glow that dances and sort of twinkles around your hand. And Rackus, you can see that Xavier's about to plunge his hand. He's moving it closer and closer. He's going to put his hand in the torch. You want to do anything?
Yeah, Rax will drop back to where Xavier is, and he'll let him get his hand as close just to see if he'll catch himself. But if it looks like his hand's going into the flame, he'll just grab his wrist.
Okay, so he's about. Do you think you're going to catch it? before he gets his hand in the flame, or are you going to catch it and then pull it out?
Should we roll for initiative?
Yeah, sure. Do that. Both of you guys roll initiative. Click on your maybe just click on your token on the top right there, because otherwise it won't roll it for you. Ooh, interesting. So Xavier's hand actually gets into the flame, and then you grab it and pull back. And what you guys both see is that as you pull it back, his hand is blackened as if like scorched by it. But then it sort of is not black any longer, and it's golden scales.
Cool.
No, that's not right. When the light hits it, it's actually crimson red scales. No, that's actually not it. It's just normal skin with no evidence of any burning whatsoever on it. Xavier, you look up at Rackus. What's the expression on Xavier's face right now?
Xavier is just like dumbfounded.
Okay. So you're sort of shocked. This kid looks... is Xavier the kind of kid who... and I think I know the answer to this, but he's not the kind of kid who cries when he's frustrated, right?
No, not really, no.
Okay, so he just looks confused and perplexed in the way that, like, you know, kids can look like old people sometimes. Right? He looks like wise beyond his years. Rackus, what do you do?
You know what? I'll just I'll clap Xavier on the back and I'll say to him, "Don't worry about it. It's okay."
How does Xavier respond?
I think we're going to be done.
So you just see that? I'm going to put my hand back in the flame again.
You plunge your hand in the flame. You take 6 points of damage as you scream and pull it back.
Okay, now I'm crying.
He's weeping now, and he's clutching his injured hand. I think at this point, Halen, you notice what's happening now. You see Rackus and Xavier are talking near the back of the group, and Xavier appears he just cried out, and he seems to be crying and clutching one of his hands.
I'll go over to Rackus and say, "What did you do?"
Oh, sorry, Ember, you rolled a nat 1. You don't notice this at all.
Oh,
sorry, it's Halen who notices.
How many points of damage did I take again?
6.
What happened?
Sorry, okay, so Halen walks over and asks what happened. Rackus and Xavier, what do you do?
My hand.
Well,
His hand it looks like it's been burned.
how did you burn your hand? What happened?
I stuck it in the flame. So what was that first little magical bit of the stuff that happened with the flame?
Hey, Kev.
Yep.
Looking at Xavier, can Rackus tell if he wants that secret divulged, or?
Make an insight check for me. Let's see, and then we'll let Cork tell you whether or not Xavier is going to reveal anything.
Ugh.
No, you can't tell what he's crying. You're not sure what, so you can react however you like.
I'm like talking about all sorts of different things. I'm like everything at once.
And I think, Cork, you're actually lapsing into Celestial and Demonic, the two Infernal, the two other languages you speak.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So Xavier seems to be sputtering out things in languages that neither of you guys understand.
And Halen and Rackus were friends from before, right?
Halen and Rackus, you got to know Halen through your brother Oberon. But yes, you guys all knew each other in Overlook. That's why you've decided to go and go to the to Restwell Keep together.
You know, I'll just I'll look at Halen and say, look, I'll tell you later. Let's get his hand tended to.
Okay. At this point, I think Oberon, you notice that there's a good chunk of the group that's hanging back. And you also notice that Ember seems completely oblivious to this and is continuing to march on forward. She's probably about, 100 feet ahead of the group at this point. As that nat 1 will get you. Jeff, do you do anything?
How far ahead is Ember now?
Ember's about 100 feet ahead of where Oberon is, and you guys are about 50 feet behind you. So Ember's about 150 feet away from you.
Okay, I'll run up to Ember. So I'm quick, and yelling is my first choice.
Okay, so you come running up, and you're sort of Ember. You realize when this elf hits your shoulder. This is where your move silently shoes will come in handy, Bren. You sort of are shocked, and you turn around, and Halen's standing there, and you sort of look around, and you realize that like the rest of the group is way the hell behind you. What do you say, Halen?
You kept going, but we stopped. Xavier is injured.
What happened?
He burnt his hand.
And he burnt his head how?
I'm not certain on one of the torches.
James, you've got that parent tone down pat.
Who let him touch a torch?
I
Rackets.
don't know. He just touched the torch.
So maybe at this point, like the rest of you guys are walking up, and Xavier says, "Oh, Rackus." He's still got his cheeks are still wet, being reflected by the torchlight from tears. Now he appears to be a child again.
I'll come over and take a look at his hand.
Okay, it's a nasty
See
burn.
where he's. It is okay.
Which hand was
I'll give him a healing potion.
Don't
if
I
you
have one
guys,
of my own?
You do, but you know what, guys? Like you could probably make a heal check, and then just let him spend a healing surge.
Okay.
Stupid.
What was with that torch? That vision I saw the first time there.
Is that Corey asking, or is that Xavier asking?
That's Corey asking.
I don't know. What do you make of it?
I'm not sure, but it was like there's something legendary about that flame, or there's something there. We got to check this out.
Can I do an insight check?
I'm gonna do a healing surge now.
Amber is unfortunately not the person you would want to be healing you because he rolled terribly.
I rolled a 13.
A 13 is not quite good enough. Oh, you only need a 10. That's right. Yeah. So, Cork, you can go ahead and just, you know what? Don't worry about spending a healing surge. Just mark off that damage.
Okay.
And then, sorry, someone else had a question that I missed there.
I wanted to do an insight check.
Into whom? To Xavier?
Oh, because I don't know what happened. Never mind.
Well, Xavier told you.
All I know is that,
there's something about this torch.
Why? What
Rackus,
happened? You burnt your hand.
No, Rackus saw it too.
Oh,
My hand was in the flame. The hand was in the flame the first time. It didn't get burnt. I could see gold and red, and then it faded.
Gold and red. What?
Like my hand was gold and red.
You know, if the group's all gathered around, Rackus will actually describe what happened as he saw it, including the scaling and how it changed from gold to red, and then back to skin.
Does anything look odd about the torch itself?
The torch itself. You guys could try making Arcana checks. Anyone who's trained in it, or Ember, I guess. Ember and Xavier can try and make Arcana checks.
I'll do that.
I'm just gonna sort of examine
Sure.
it physically to make sure.
Yeah, of course. Brent, give me a perception check. So, I mean, these are it's a very old enchantment on these things. They are ever burning torches, but apart from that relatively simplistic enchantment, there's nothing other. There's no like enchantment magic on it. There's no illusion magic on it. There's no nothing that would attempt to allure someone or like drag them in. They're not trapped from what you can see. Brent, you look at it and like from what you can tell, it's just a torch that seems to be burning without ever, consuming itself.
I, as a player, think I know what's going on, but I don't know how to articulate it to game.
I want you, if you have your suspicions, for the sake of Corey's enjoyment, you keep them to yourself.
Oh, great.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I sent you and Brent are the two who I thought might be able to piece together Xavier's backstory as we go along on this. So just for the sake of Corey's enjoyment, I'm going to ask that you not reveal your player knowledge.
You've already told them shit about my character?
No. It's just that I thought that they might be able to pick up on some of the clues that have happened so far, or that happened in the course of the campaign.
Yeah.
I'll just shrug and go, looks like a normal torch.
Okay, like as the group walks on, I'm like, but this happened, but that happened. And then I just shut up.
Kev,
Okay. Yeah.
is Rakus familiar with dragons and like just what they are and what
I mean,
dragons.
you're familiar that there is dragons around, right? What is it you're thinking of?
Well,
Lots of things have scales.
yeah. I mean, is there any similarity to what I would expect? Would it remind me of dragon scales? Would that red flag go up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's the dragons are among the most powerful and feared creatures in existence. They are beings of magic, and they're sort of the ideal fusion of arcane elemental power and feral, sinuous muscle and claw. So I think there's a natural association you would make with dragon scale.
You know what? I'll throw it out there then. I'll be like, guys, when I think about it, it reminded me a lot of dragon scale.
What do you guys think?
Okay, but why? I don't understand the significance.
Neither do I.
I am going to assume,
because by all accounts, he's a human boy, correct?
Yeah, and what I'm going to assume is that you would have effectively taken, like, the equivalent of taking a 20. You would have studied Xavier's arcane aura as closely as you could in the time that you guys spent together, trying to decipher where this boy came from, where the source of his powers are. You've never picked up any kind of indication that this kid has got draconic, power or anything like that. To be honest, he's just... What's that, Cork?
I don't even speak Draconic.
No. He's just a mystery to you. So
an enigma.
An enigma.
Do I know?
Yes.
Do I know that his power source is divine? Like, do I know that he's an invoker, or?
I think that you probably know that. Yeah, his powers do not come from the arcane power source. They're not a force of nature. You know that there is some conduit from beyond. And I think we talked about this too. I think that Xavier might be the only invoker in this campaign too. It's something totally unknown otherwise in the world.
And yes, I'm an invoker.
Mm-hmm. So, unless there's any other sort of discussions you guys want to have, you maybe turn and then somberly start, continue your way through the other miles left in the tunnel. Go ahead.
If I'm aware that he has a divine connection, could I do a religion check to speculate or speculate if that's if this is related to his divine connection?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me a religion check, please. Let's see here. It is going to be. So, I mean, you know that there are obviously there are 2 gods that are associated with the dragons. I mean, but not that they are gods of dragons. Dragons in the setting, remember, are different things. One of those is the silver dragon, Bahamut. Bahamut is the god of law and protection and stuff like that. The other is the Chaos Queen, Tiamat, the multi-headed goddess of evil, destruction, and power. So that's what that sort of gives you. Now, to wrap, we're almost at the time we'll wrap up, guys. I know we only got a 3-hour session in, but I don't want to keep you guys past midnight Winnipeg time. So what I think I'll do is we're going to do the arrival. So what this does is this determines how your journey ends. We're going to end the first journey when you guys arrive at Drellin's Ferry. Now, the road will take you out of the Wyrmsmoke Mountains. This tunnel seems from Skull Gorge to the edge of the Wyrmsmoke Mountains is inside. So when you walk out of it, you walk out into basically a path or a road that leads down through the foothills into this winding forest, and then down towards Drellin's Ferry. So as you arrive at Drellin's Ferry, what I need you guys to do, let's see here. There's no modifiers to the roll. You got +1 because of that encounter that you had with the Wonder of the Age. So would someone like to roll a D8 for me, please? And we're going to add +1 to the roll. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Someone beat me to it.
Oh, so okay, I'll take the first roll. So Oberon, it's a 6. So the many leagues that you guys have traveled have filled you with a sense of clear purpose regarding your goals, dark though the path ahead may be. As a result, you guys get a +1 on your next embarkation roll. So the next roll that you make when you're setting out on the roll, remember when you guys first set out, you made the roll as well, and the sun was shining and it was favorable and it was nice outside? You will now have a +1 on the next embarkation when you leave Drellin's Ferry after you complete a long rest. And what we'll do is we're going to role play our time in Drellin's Ferry, because I would like to give each of these places a sense of location. I don't want it to just be like little dots on a what do you call it, on a traveling map, because this will be our home for a while now. Not Drellin's Ferry, but some of these places. But let me just share with you what Drellin's Ferry looks like. So as you guys arrive, what you find is you pass through some farmlands on your bank of the river. If you click on the little looking glass, it'll make it bigger. Whoever is adjusting their stuff there, can you stop doing that? It's really loud.
Sorry, I was just getting my supper.
Oh, sorry, Cork. It was quite loud. All right, so you guys you can see that on number 1, it heads down that road there. This is sort of sloping down towards where the Elsier River is. As you guys make your way down the road, you can see that there is where 15 is. You see that? Right in the middle of the river there?
Yep.
Those are the remnants of they're sort of the support struts of what was once a massive span that led across this river. But at one point, like 200 years ago, some massive flood came and washed away most of the bridge. However,
They are called
there is now a chain that stretches across the river, and there is a ferry that is operated here, giving the town its name. There is a dwarf. As you guys are walking down, there's a dwarf who's sitting on the edge of the ferry, who is sort of munching away on his noontime snack. You guys make your way down. He looks up and sort of hurriedly shovels the rest of his food into his mouth, and he waves at you and says, "Headed for the other side, are you?"
Indeed, we are a good dwarf.
Very good, very good. Then I'll get the ferry ready. And while it's not really much of a cliffhanger, I think that's where we will leave tonight's session. So for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for session 2 of our Scales of War campaign. Let me stop sharing here. And then I'll turn my camera off very briefly here. And then turn it back on so I stop getting... No, I'm still fucking stuttered. Let me... Here, I'll get rid of... Roll 20. Boom. There we go. How's that? Hey, I'm moving at the normal rate again now. So, again, for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for session 2 of our Scales of War campaign. I hope you've enjoyed this session. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding what happened tonight, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will endeavor to respond in a timely fashion. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks for session 3 of Scales of War.